Today in Newark, a champion will be crowned. The Metropolitan Riveters, blessed with the top scoring team in the NWHL, won 11 games to start the season en route to the regular season title. But their opponents, the Buffalo Beauts, have a little history on their side. They're the defending Isobel Cup champs, and they return to the final, having won 11 straight, thanks to last week's overtime winner by Sarah Casorso. It's the Riveters and the Beauts for the Isobel Cup, and it starts right now on Twitter.
Let's go Riveters! Let's go Riveters!
Hi there, hockey fans, and welcome to the Barnabas Health Hockey House in Newark, New Jersey. This afternoon on Twitter, it's the Isobel Cup final between the Metropolitan Riveters and the defending Isobel Cup champion, Buffalo Beauts. Hi there, everybody. Alongside Sherry Ross, I'm Phil Jubileo. Good afternoon and welcome to the NWHL on Twitter. One game to decide the Isobel Cup between the Riveters, who are making their first appearance in an Isobel Cup final, and a third time appearing Buffalo Beauts, who won the championship last season as they stunned the Boston Pride up in Lowell, Massachusetts. Well, Sherry, for the Riveters, it's their first trip to the Isobel Cup final, but Madison Packer, very experienced in the postseason. It's her fifth playoff game. She has 5 points so far in her playoff career.
She is a proven performer who nearly gave up the game after last season, had hip surgery, came back stronger than ever, missed the first 4 games of the season, but closed with a furious rush to win the goal-scoring title in the NWHL.
Meanwhile, on the Buffalo side of things, Haley Scamora, the NWHL Rookie of the Year, it's just her first full season in pro. She's very experienced in the Isobel Cup postseason. She already has a cup.
She already won Rookie of the Year, but that's because she joined the Beauts at the end of last season, right after her college year was over, has had a sensational playoffs, and she is going to be one of the players that the Riveters will have to keep an eye on to stop this afternoon.
Meanwhile, we can talk about the offenses for both clubs. The Riveters, the most prolific offense in the league this season. Buffalo has been able to put the puck in the net in recent outings, but the goaltenders on both teams, such a huge part of what brought these two teams into the Cup final. 11-0 the Riveters were to start the season. A lot of that on the back of Brickwall Fitzy, Katie Fitzgerald.
Fitzgerald was the goaltender of the year for 2017, and she opened up the playoffs with a 13-save shutout over Connecticut last weekend.
Meanwhile, Mandy Levier has been on a roll, the NWHL goaltender of the year, had a brilliant game here last season to catapult Buffalo into the finals.
She is unbelievable. She has gotten better and better as the season has rolled on, topped with a 34-save performance in the overtime win last weekend against Boston.
So it should be a great goaltending matchup between Levier and Katie Fitzgerald. And let's introduce the rest of our broadcast team. Let's send it downstairs to Matt Falkenberry.
Thanks, Phil. My X factor for the Metropolitan Riveters today is going to be defender Courtney Burke, the NWHL's Defender of the Year. She led all defenders in points with 19, which was a record in a single season by an NWHL defender. She's a quarterback on the power play and is going to play an important role in trying to shut down the top line of the Buffalo Beauts. Now let's throw it over to Eric Ayala, who has a report on the Buffalo Beauts.
As you can see, we have a packed house here at the Barnabas Health Hockey House for the Isobel Cup final against the Buffalo Beauts and the Metropolitan Riveters. But speaking of the Beauts, the defending champions, my X factor is Maddie Elia. She has 14 points coming into this game, just like her line mates Courtney Kunichika and Haley Scamura, but she's also got that edge, and that's what Buffalo's going to need if they're going to repeat. So here we go. Back to you, Phil.
We've got more coming your way. It's the Isobel Cup final. Back after this on Twitter.
We are the early risers.
Make sure it's nice and snug.
The DIYers. We are determined.
Go, USA on 3. 1, 2, 3, USA!
Crazy. Die hard. We are loyal.
Up the wing they come.
We are proud.
She shoots. She scores! Maggie Duggan to the top of the mountain.
We are brewed for this. America runs on Duncan.
I break chains up on myself, won't let my freedom run.
Amanda Levier and the Buffalo Beauts making their third straight trip to the Isobel Cup final. For Levier, it's her first start in a finals game, and she'll be counted upon heavily, Sherry Ross.
She is the only player on the Beauts to have appeared in every game this season, and she's been busy in a number of them. Rough start to the season for Buffalo, which started 2-4, but what a tremendous finish as they try to defend the Isobel Cup here this afternoon.
Levier really finished off the season strong. She had some early struggles in early season games against this Metropolitan Riveters team, but down the stretch, the final three matchups against this Metropolitan team, they've come out on the winning end, and a lot of that on her back.
A lot of it certainly because the Riveters are so high-powered offensively that they will score on the power play. They've got depth. They take a lot of shots in games. She's been busy in every one of them. Buffalo also did add a goalie coach this year in Tom Draper, and I think that may have been a big part of the turnaround for her, but she has been sensational all season, and the Riveters will know they're going to have to work hard to beat Levier.
Meanwhile, Katie Fitzgerald, her numbers overall, she had a really strong season. Great playoff last week, 5-0 shutout victory over the Connecticut Whale, but she has had her struggles in those losses to Buffalo down the stretch, only around an .850 save percentage against them overall this season. Big game for her.
It certainly is, and she may be tested early because, Buffalo's just going to be aggressive from the hop. They're a strong forechecking team, and the Riveters had a lot of trouble handling that forecheck in the last 3 games this season.
Meanwhile, we'll see the second line for the Riveters get the start. Erica Lawler is centering Rebecca Russo and Madison Packer. Kelsey Colzer and Michelle Picard start on D. They're in the red with the black and white trim. Meanwhile, for Buffalo, they go with their top line of Scamora, Ilya, and Kunachika. On defense, it's Edney, along with Lisa Chesson. And the Beauts have the puck inside the Metropolitan zone. Riveters look to clear, held in at the point by Scamora briefly. Taken off the boards by Colzer, and the rink-wide pass is taken off the far boards by Russo, broken up quickly. And now Maddie Ilya along right wing gets checked along the wall. A good hit there by Picard as the Riveters look to set up shop back in their own zone. Mie Dench, who missed 7 games with an injury, knocked down by Corrine Bowie from behind. Buttes able to keep the puck in the zone, and now Colzer will send it across.
All of the Riveters' losses this season occurred with Dench out of the lineup, so it was a welcome return when she came back in the last regular season game.
Here's Jess Jones down the right wing, base of the right circle, tried to dangle her way out, going around Colzer, had it poke checked away, and now the Riveters play it out to center, led by Dench, who had an empty net goal in the regular season finale up in Boston, averaging over a point per game for the season, and also against this Buffalo team as Corrine Bowie plays it in to the left circle, try to get off a shot, and it was broken up. Lobbed out to center ice, and Casorso, who had the overtime winner last week, early in that first overtime against Boston, tried to move the puck up before the Riveters able to get it in. Good move by Grushau, hopping over a defender to get the puck in, tied up by Colleen Murphy behind the net, and now Casorso will chip it ahead for Jones. Gets it out to center ice, and it's played back in by Jenny Ryan, the rookie standout out of the University of Wisconsin.
Well, both teams really skating. I mean, they have been ready for this one. This is, of course, no matter what level you play at, you want to play for a championship.
Here's Tatiana Rafter. Off her skate, got to the slot, put a shot in on goal, and Levier with the game's first save.
It's good for a goaltender to feel the puck early. Anyone will tell you that. So Katie Fitzgerald got a shot pretty quickly. Levier just had hers. You get that feel of the puck. You feel like you're in the game. Icing call against Buffalo, so that'll take it down to Levier's end of the ice.
Tatiana Rafter with a pretty good look on the game's first official shot on goal. The nice pass there by Madison Packer, who had the steal as we take a look.
Yeah, Packer had an unbelievable end of the season and also a terrific playoff game last weekend against Connecticut. She scored a key shorthanded goal in the third period to sort of break things open for the Riveters in that one.
It's not much of a stretch to say that right now at this moment, Madison Packer is the best player in the NWHL as the point shot comes in, steered aside by Levier. And now the Beauts will look to play out to center, led by Accursi. Number 95 for Buffalo. Looks to go around Berg, who shoves her. And Jenny Ryan will take the puck and throw back the other way. A long pass ahead, hits off his skate. Lawler plays it in, across to Ryan, and offside is whistled.
Yeah, Packer just had to lift her left skate, tried to hold the blue line, was not able to, so there will be an offside call against the Riveters. Not only are these the two best teams in the league, but they're the two teams that dislike each other the most. I mean, they have played some really heated games, going back to one of the games in November where there were 66 minutes in penalties. and 2 Buffalo players ended up being suspended out of that game.
Both teams have some grit and jam to their game. Buffalo in particular with their size as the Buttes ice the puck once again. You mentioned the early season game between the two teams up in Rochester that logged almost 70 penalty minutes, which you just don't see in the women's game. The number of penalty minutes doesn't get to that level, and it's very physical games between these two clubs.
Yeah, they you know, you talk to the Riveters and they'll just go, the Buttes irritate them. So they have to tamp that down. You want to play with spirit, certainly, but you don't want to be taking any unnecessary penalties, and I'm sure Buffalo's thinking the same thing.
And that is how the Buttes play. That's what's led to some of their success against this Metropolitan team, the grit, the size that they have as they skated in. Jackie Greco from the right side, and the slap shot gets deflected and goes out of play with 17:06 remaining in the first.
I think Buffalo is the only team that matches up talent-wise with the Riveters this season, especially when you look at the top 2 lines. There are, you know, Connecticut and Boston just don't have the same impact on their top 2 lines. And that depth kept the Riveters going early in the season. The Buttes had a number of rookies on the team, and I think as the season went on, they got better. And so you've got really 2 teams that they're not separated by much talent-wise.
Puck is chased down by Corrine Bowie, who got elbowed by Madison Packer and no call, as Burns plays it out at center ice and dumps the puck in. That was a big hit here in the early going, just over 3 minutes played, and the puck deflected into the benches along the boards.
Yeah, Packer loves a physical game. Bowie also a nice big forward. They clash there. Probably the Riveters lucky to get away without a penalty being called there. I'm sure the officials know the history between these two teams, and they will keep an eye on things and try to keep it before it gets too crazy.
Corrine Bowie playing in her 3rd Isobel Cup final team. She's won 2 cups 2 years ago when Boston was on the roster. Had a goal last season against her former team in that victory by Buffalo. Dostal over to Harrison Brown. Looks to chip it by across the blue line. Edney unable to keep it in. And Jordan Burns will retrieve it back inside the Buffalo zone. Now for Jones. Sends the rink-wide dump into the corner. And Stretch Johnston has been the captain since day 1 for Metropolitan, back when they played in Brooklyn, New York. Fails to get the puck out. Digs it off along the boards. Dostal is there, tied up briefly. Johnston back with it. Found Harrison Brown. He couldn't get it out. Tied up by Murphy, and now it's Rafter again. Rafter providing some of the size on this Metropolitan team. They're not big across the roster. She is their biggest player to match up a little bit with some of that Buffalo size. And the Ribs able to keep it in. The shot by Nash, and that one got by Levier, who didn't see that shot come in.
She was a bit screened on that. Nash has missed some games due to some coaching duties, but when she's in the lineup, she's had an impact.
Assistant down in Princeton. Puck in behind the Metropolitan net. Ryan played to the corner, regained by Kersey on the right side. Spun off the puck by Burke. Chipped ahead for Ketchum, and she centers to Dench. Lie Denchen across the line, 2-on-2 from straight on. Got a shot through, and we get a stoppage here on an offside. A late offside whistle.
Yeah, it was late.
15:29 remaining in the first.
And you know what else? It's also kind of loud in here because it's a sold-out crowd.
It's a standing room sellout as we get a look at the offside.
Of course, there is no replay in this league. That looked kind of onside from the angle we got to see anyway.
Off the draw, controlled by Colzer, and she'll fling it in. Levier out of the crease. Selling it briefly. In the corner, Lawler gets tripped up by Chesson, and the officials will introduce them when we have a moment. Letting the women play here in this first period. We've seen some body checking go on, noticed by the officials as Rebecca Russo with that speed backhands it in down the right wing boards, catches it back herself behind the net, comes all the way around to the left point. The shot gets blocked. Oh, and we'll have a penalty called here. That was going to be a breakaway for number 11 in light blue, Lisa Chesson, but the game's first penalty instead, exactly 5 minutes in.
And you can feel the Riveters fans maybe grabbing.
Oh, wait a minute.
I don't know what that signal was.
Did they call an offside? Get a second look. I thought Chesson got held up trying to go on that breakaway. They just whistled an offside. That's a bit puzzling here in the early going, as the puck is delivered in by Burns.
Well, the referee made the call, so that's why I was baffled.
On the far,
anyway, the players didn't argue.
Play continues. Bowie in the slot off the skate of Jess Jones. Lie Dench able to take it first away from Jones. Veteran player, but playing her first season in the NWHL. Did not put up the offensive numbers she had a year ago. The puck worked down low out in front. Quick shot, they score! And the Riveters get on the board in a crossbar.
Well, if you want to know why she was named the Player of the Year, the MVP, look at this as Alexa Grushow, also the league's leading scorer, second effort, drives past the defender, and as she's falling down, able to get a backhand over Levier. The Riveters have opened the scoring at the 5:33 mark on Grushow's first goal of these playoffs.
Grushow led the league in scoring, 9 goals, 22 points during the regular season. Just an amazing individual effort to put Metropolitan up 1-0. So the Ribs get an early goal, and we'll see how the Buttes bounce back here in their third Isobel Cup final. Buttes get it out to center, off the skate of Kersey, regained by Metropolitan. They get the puck out to center, and Nash will back play it into the Buffalo zone, where it's played by Levier and across from Murphy. And for a Kersey, looks to clear out. And now she will hold it and go across ice to Lewicki. Through the neutral zone she comes. 1-on-4. Buffalo changing. It's poked away. And now here comes Russo, who just loves to just streak up the wing when she has the puck. The former Boston University standout. Got the puck in, quickly cleared. Ilya trying to center it. Nice defensive play as Packer stepped up. And now it's Russo. 3-on-2. Russo walks in, shot. Big save made. Levier came out of the crease to play it. And now it's Maddie Ilya from the right wing. Looks to get around. Pulls her and does. Down the far side. Looking in front. She had Kunichika. Fan on the one-timer at the goal crease. Kunichika gets it back. Now it's Skamura. Skamura dropped off as Metropolitan tries to get the puck, and they do, out of the zone. They give Mie Dench the assist on the goal.
It looked like it was all Grushow, but Dench does pick up the assist.
Grushow did the lion's share of work that time as Jones from the corner trying to center it. Good veteran play by Stretch Johnston to break that up. And along the boards, Grushow there, and she'll lift it out of danger as we have 12:45 remaining in the first.
Just saw another big save by Levier a few moments ago. The rebound was so big that none of the Riveters were able to get to it. They were all in so deep, and that allowed Buffalo to get the puck out of the zone.
Buffalo looks to play it out. Rafter kept it in at the point. And now Corrine Bowie will look to regroup for Buffalo. Stepping up was Nash. Couldn't get the puck away for the Riveters. Now it's Jones in. Jones chips it down low. Bowie cut off by Burke. And ahead to Harrison Brown as he looks to skate out of the zone. Taken away by Jones. Here's Jess Jones from the corner. Stops, holds in front. Oh, and a denial as Rebecca Vinton was stopped, and then falling on the puck in front was Katie Fitzgerald. That was a gimme for Vint, who missed a couple of games with injury, and she couldn't finish.
Yeah, Vint didn't even play in last week's game, the playoff game against Boston. Here she had a golden opportunity. I mean, you could not be much more wide open, but it's a bouncing puck. She wasn't able to get control of it in time, and Katie Fitzgerald spies it in the blue paint, and she dives over to clamp her glove down.
It appeared that Fitzgerald might have gotten part of that stick on it, which then disrupted the puck and prevented Vint from having an easy dump in.
I think you're right, but boy, Vint's eyes must have been as huge as hubcaps right there, because she saw an open side of the net, just couldn't get her stick on the puck.
Well, we'll mark that one down and see how things progress as we have 11:55 to go in the first period. Utes have spent a fair amount of time back in their own zone, and now it's Erica Lawler. Lawler had a 3-point game last week against the Connecticut Whale. Holzer pinching in from the point, keeps it in. Lawler tried to center it in the high slot to Packer, off target with the pass, and Picard will take it out in the neutral zone, lifting it up the boards. And Russo trying to angle, looks to beat Jackie Greco to the puck, 50-50 puck. Russo wins it, but quickly coming over as Lewicki tied her up. And the Buttes looking to get the puck out of danger. They clear it out to center, but Dostal is there. One of the original Metropolitan Riveters from back in the Brooklyn days as the Ribs play it in.
Riveters are doing a really good job of moving the puck quickly and smartly, and they're not allowing Buffalo to establish that strong forecheck that they've been able to do in the last 3 games.
Dostal racing to the blue line, couldn't keep the puck in the zone. She'll play it back down. Now it's Colleen Murphy. Riveters changing up on D. Long pass up the far wing boards, and we'll see another icing here. Buffalo's had a handful of those in the first period.
You know, we profiled Haley Skamura in the Open as the Rookie of the Year, but what a great year for freshman players in the league this season. I mean, you could have picked any one of a number of players, including Jenny Ryan, the defender for the Metropolitans, because you're just seeing the talent level increase year by year. This is the third year of the league's existence, and it just gets better and better.
One of the things about sequestering Team USA opened up a lot of opportunities for some of these rookies to have opportunities to play. In years past, they may not have gotten that level of ice time.
And they're showing what they can do. Buffalo started the season with 12 rookies, including 9 who are 24 years of age or younger. So, I mean, it really shows you the base of talent that's out there.
Great coaching by Rick Sealing and Craig Muni. A good defensive play. And it's Scamora down the left side with a breakaway. Walks in front, shot, big save by Fitzgerald. Off the arm is Scamora, denied on the breakaway.
Big block by Scamora. She goes in on the breakaway, and that is Katie Fitzgerald's best save so far.
And here's Kunichika from the right circle, puts it right into the breadbasket of Katie Fitzgerald. And then you have Maddie Ilya providing that size, a little push and shove with Michelle Picard in front.
Jenny Ryan's shot from the right point was blocked. Scamora comes driving in. Burke comes over to try to make her hasten the shot, but I think Scamora had all the time she wanted. She made the shot she wanted. Katie Fitzgerald, though, was the stone wall there. You know, she plays that kind of hybrid stand-up butterfly style. She's so tall that when she stays upright like that, she takes away so much of the net. Yeah,
she had such a good angle on that puck. There wasn't much room, cut off a lot of what Scamora had to shoot at. Sarah Edney poked in behind the net. Rebecca Vint trying to chip a pass out in front, broken up by Colzer. Burns pinching from the boards, and Colzer gets it back for Picard as we're under the halfway mark of the first period. Buffalo leading in shots 6-3, but they're down a goal as Packer was trying to get that nudged over to her by Russo. Buttes back with it, and it's Jess Jones who had a gorgeous setup early in the period that Vint couldn't finish. Now to Corrine Bowie. Bowie in the corner. Pass down loaded Jones. Good stick work by Picard to get that over to Russo, and she lobs it out of danger.
Buffalo forced to chase, and that means that the Riveters will be able to change things up. They've been able to get the lines rolling the way they want.
Played back at the Rivs line. Stretch Johnson tried to go D-to-D, had it broken up instead. She'll take it up the boards. Gets it in for Tatiana Rafter. Dangling against Burns, walked out in front with a shot, and that was denied by Levier after a good move by Rafter to get around Jordan Burns. Buttes get it clear, and now it's Stostel for Metropolitan moving it to the left side. Rivs look to chip it in, broken up by Corrine Bowie. Rivs get it back into the zone, and now it's Jordan Burns. Around for Edney in the corner, trying to shovel up the wall. 8:50 to play in the first period. 1-0 Metro on the goal by Gruschow. Along the wing. Little 3-on-2 battle, make it 4-on-2. Lewicki trying to get a stick on it. Sharp angle try from the corner. Put on net that Levier had to save, and then with the shot was Kelly Nash, and she'll come off on a change for Dench. As Courtney Burke in the neutral zone. Hands off to Harrison Brown, tried to swing it in. It was blocked, and now we get the game's first penalty as Lewicki got tripped up. Let's see if we keep it here with a little over 8 minutes to go in this first period. And Courtney Burke is the guilty party. She will go to the box, and the Buttes will go on the power play.
Yeah, Burke going off for a trip, so the first advantage of the game goes to Buffalo.
And we will have that power play for you when we come back. It's 1-0 Riveters on the Isobel Cup final.
We are the early risers.
Make sure it's nice and snug.
The DIYers. We are determined.
Go, USA on 3. 1, 2, 3, USA!
Crazy.
A minute to go.
Die hard.
Winning time for USA hockey.
We are loyal.
Up the wing they come.
We are proud.
She shoots. She scores! Maggie Duggan to the top of the mountain.
We are brewed for this. America runs on Duncan.
Back in Newark, New Jersey, it's the Isobel Cup final between the Metropolitan Riveters and the Buffalo Buttes. Sherry, let's talk about how these two teams got here. First for Metropolitan, their first trip to the Isobel Cup final, and they did it by blowing out the Whale last week.
Yeah, they were the top seeded team going into the postseason. Connecticut gave them a pretty good tussle for 2 periods. It was 2-0 Riveters at the end of 2, but then Madison Packer's shorthanded goal opened up the floodgates in the third.
Meanwhile, up at Harbor Center, the Buffalo Buttes had a really tough road to hoe as they had to take on the Boston Pride, a team that earned the 3rd seed late in the season, and they took them to overtime.
They did, and they were able to win it on Sarah Casorso's goal, but they had to come from behind in order to tie it and get to OT.
First power play for Buffalo. They were at 16.7% during the regular season on the advantage. Courtney Burke is in the box for a trip. Metropolitan had the best penalty kill in the league this season. Scamora over to Ilya with a shot and a save made by Fitzgerald on her backside, and the puck crept through the crease as a follow-up there by Ilya couldn't go. My goodness, Katie Fitzgerald's had some help here.
And she doesn't have her stick right now.
In this first period. It's by the side of the net. Here's Scamora looking top corner, and she missed.
And now Fitzgerald able to rescue her stick, but Ilya with the one-timer, what a shot she had. And that basically knocked the stick out of Fitzgerald's hands, I believe.
Tunichika in the corner with a Kersey, Scamora, Ilya, and Casorso on the ice for the power play of Buffalo. Short-handed now, it's Mie Dench. And she'll chip it in from the blue line and come off as Lawler is on the ice with Packer, Dostal, and Stretch Johnston. And a turnover.
Good work by Lawler.
As the puck was taken away by Lawler behind the net. She lost control of it. And with it is Scamora. Skates in. Great back pressure by Madison Packer, forcing an offside as we get a look at the Fitzgerald save.
Yeah, absolutely. The save on the initial shot by Ilya, the one-timer. And then you see Fitzgerald just sort of doing a rotisserie style twirl as she's down and able to keep the puck out, and then able to keep this 1-0.
For the year, Metropolitan 88.5% on their penalty kill. They were at 91.2% here at the Barnabas Health Hockey House. They have been amazing on the PK this season. At the point, shot by Edney and sticked away by Fitzgerald to the corner. Coming over, Rebecca Vint. Now for Jones. Back to the right circle, and a one-time blast blocked out in front. It got through to Fitzgerald, and she hangs on with 20 seconds remaining in the Burke penalty.
I think this puck kind of rolled away from Fitzgerald. It almost looked like she trapped it against her back, her side or her back as the shot came through. So some really good chances here for the Buttes as they look to tie it up on this power play, which has 20 seconds left to run with Burke in the box.
A look here at the one-timer by Corrine Bowie. Good look there by Bowie, who has a Isobel Cup Finals goal to her credit. Face-off will be to the left of Fitzgerald, and they will re-drop the puck. But Sherry, right now we look at two goals that weren't in this first period. First, the look by Jones to Rebecca Vint, and then the rebound follow-up by Maddie Ilya that just kind of went in front of the goal line, through the crease and wide of the net.
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna, everything in this game is gonna be so magnified because this is a championship game. Every bounce, every save. I mean, you're seeing these chances, and great chances by Buffalo on this power play. A break for the Riveters as this puck bounces out of the zone.
That was a good face-off win by Alexa Grushow, who's at almost 54% during the regular season on face-offs. Butte's able to play it back in, but now the puck goes over the glass and out of play. And just 8 seconds remaining in the Courtney Burke penalty.
Of course, you think of Alexa Grushow and you think of her numbers this season, but she's also so good defensively. Face-off wins, she kills penalties. And of course, she's got them on the lead in this game, the 1-0 goal. A backhander gets blocked, and then Grushow, as she's flying through the air, basically Bobby Orr style, is able to knock in the puck.
There's a puck down low in front for Tunichika, shadowed by Kolzer. Back to 5-on-5 hockey. Chesson keeps it in. That is Scamora. The good long reach shot was blocked by Picard. Picard will take it back, rolls it around the boards. Harrison Brown can't get it out. Now it's Tunichika in front. Scamora waits out Fitzgerald. A shot denied. And Scamora gets it back. Out to the far point. Murphy across for Chesson. Chesson lobbing a shot, and it went through the legs and onto the goaltender Fitzgerald, who makes the pad save after Ilya set the screen. And now Rafter for Metropolitan will take it off the wall and work it around for Harrison Brown. He tries to get it out, quickly smothered down by Murphy.
Now Buffalo getting that forecheck going.
9 first period shots here for the Buttes. Good slap out of the zone. And racing back for it is Murphy, and we get an icing called on Metropolitan, their first icing in this game with 5:36 to go in the opening 20.
Well, Buffalo's doing a good job of trying to jerk Katie Fitzgerald off her angle. They're getting her going from side to side. A couple of shots have gone through the crease, through the paint. They've been able to knock down some, but Buffalo definitely increasing the heat here in the second period from the power play on.
And a turnover as a Kersey got it from behind the net. Tried to wrap around in front, was denied. Now over to Kaylin Schroka. Pass from the corner in front intended for Lewicki. Broken up by Rafter, and gets it back for Picard. Along the boards, will pass out of the zone trying to spring Brown. Broken up by Casorso. Played across the line by Nash. Harrison Brown from the left point will keep it in. Fans wanted a penalty as Nash got knocked down. A bit smothered And no whistle call. We only saw the obvious trip in this first period on Burke a few minutes ago. Otherwise, Sherry, the physical play has been unnoticed by the officials in this game.
No, they're letting the body contact continue. Now, of course, there's going to be a fine line because at some point the players are going to keep pushing that barrier and seeing where the penalty line is.
We'll find out at some point. Otherwise, coaches would just like to keep it consistent, which it has been on both sides.
It has been. You just want to make sure there's no injury.
There's Bray Ketchum in the corner. Waits things out, comes around. Top of the right circle for Ryan. Crisscrossing to the left. At the far point for Burke. Now back to Ryan. Ryan gets one, and a deflection on goal. Good save by Levier as the Buttes get it out.
Well, both goaltenders really have been stellar so far in this first period. I mean, because there have been great chances at both ends of the ice. Levier is the only one to have allowed a goal. That was Grushev's magnificent solo effort there to get that goal in. But there have been great saves by Katie Fitzgerald. This is what you want to see. You want to see these two goalies really just matching widths, matching saves, and that's what they've done so far.
I think it was Grushew who got that tip in.
Yeah, there was a tip in front.
From the high slide. And on that Grushew goal, it was initially blocked before she kind of recovered, got the puck back, and I think Levier was a little bit surprised because she probably may have noticed that initial block, thought she was out of danger as Jones comes in and puts a shot in on net, and then you see Stretch Johnson give Karine Bowie a little shove.
Of course, Bowie, one of the big physical players. She's a power forward. She's going to be cutting to the net every chance she can, trying to create some havoc in front. They know each other well. These two teams have played 6 times in the regular season.
3-3. Buffalo winning the last 3 matchups 2-1 on March 4th, 4-3 on the 25th. That was a come from behind game for Buffalo. They were down 2 goals in the third period, and then February 3rd they won that game 5-3. So Buffalo has had the edge in recent months, or the recent month plus in this series. Metropolitan, the early dominance with a 6-2, 6-3, and 4-2 victories. Buffalo took some time to close that talent gap. And now Kunichika to the left for Scamora. Down the wing from the corner, try to center it around Dostal, who breaks it up. And now it's Dench out to center ice. 1-on-3 comes Mie. Riveters start to change a bit. Chesson will play the dump in, tries to drop it off. Ilya comes to track it down. 3:18 to play in the first period. 1-0 Ribs on the brilliant goal by Grushev.
Oh, Dench is skating much better. This is her 3rd game back now since missing the 7 games with an ankle injury. And she's starting to look like the Mie Dench that everyone saw earlier in the season.
She was such a key in the early season for this Metropolitan team as it is shot out of play with 2:57 left in the first period. For the regular season, Dench, 13 points in 9 games. She was over a point per game against Buffalo, and really a key for the Ribs if they're going to win today.
Oh, absolutely. They need to be her at close to 100%, and I think she's there now. I didn't see it in the last 2 games, but she's looking much more like herself to me.
Lawler to the right for Packer. Down the wing she comes, winds and holds in the corner. Worked on by Casorso, gave her a shove, and it's played around to Courtney Burke waiting at the left point. And thrown back in deep for Russo. Russo along right wing. Russo hands it off to Ryan. Centered down low for Packer, and then got hammered along the boards. Packer was caught vulnerable, hit by Casorso. That is a penalty. It could be more than 2, and we'll see what the officials say after that was briefly on the stick of Packer before getting hit hard. And that is a tough penalty to take for Buffalo, but right now, all eyes on Madison Packer, and hopefully she's okay.
Yeah, this is a play along the end wall, and then a Packer got boarded by Casorso, who's gone to the box right now. We'll wait and see what the call is. But she had her back turned completely. Her numbers were facing the defender, and that's a play you can't make. That's a boarding call. We'll see what the official call is. Packer still down on the ice, being tended to by the Riveters trainer. Of course, Packer had hip surgery during the offseason, decided to unretire and come back and play. And she has been a key component of the Riveters. We're
going to take another look at this. And, you know, Packer, when she takes that hit, she's pretty far away from the boards. If you're right up along it, it doesn't have that same impact. But there was a good 3, maybe 2 or 3 feet between her and the boards. And that is such a vulnerable spot to be. And, as you said, Sherry, that's just a hit that you're Sarah Casorso, you know better at that point not to lay out on a shot like that.
Yeah, well, they've now brought Packer's gloves to the bench, which is never a good sign.
Well, we'll step aside here as the training staff continuing to look at Madison Packer. She is sitting up, which is a good sign at the very least overall, but we'll have more and hopefully an update when we come back after this. You're watching the Isobel Cup Final on Twitter.
Early risers.
Make sure it's nice and snug.
The DIYers. We are determined.
Go, USA on 3. 1, 2, 3, USA!
Crazy.
A minute to go.
Die hard.
Winning time for USA hockey.
We are loyal.
Up the wing they come.
We are proud.
She shoots. She scores! Maggie Duggan to the top of the mountain.
We are brewed for this. America runs on Duncan.
Well, here's Madison Packer up on her feet, skating mostly under her own power back to the Metropolitan bench and appearing a little bit woozy, and we'll see if she goes right back into the room. She does, and let's get a look at her just a few moments ago while we were in break.
Yeah, as you mentioned, you get hit that far away from the boards, and it's almost kind of a whiplash effect. It's more impact. So she has gotten up looking a little dazed, and she'll go off the training room, off of the dressing room right away.
Well, there's Casorso in the box, and I believe Taylor Recursi is with her, but only 2 minutes up on the scoreboard, so that is a little...
Well, I think Recursi may be serving a minor for her. We'll wait and get the official.
We'll see if they give more than the 2 if they added a 10, but I honestly thought that was just going to be a 5-minute major for boarding in the game.
That's what I would have thought, but that doesn't appear to be the case.
But there is a bit of a delay, so let's see. The officials going over to the Metropolitan bench to have a couple of words. And
well, the Riveters are on the power play.
It is a 2-minute minor, at least that's what it says up on the scoreboard. So the Riveters looking to extend their 1-0 lead. Here's Kira Dossel, pass in front, Dench. Man on the one-timer, now shorthanded, it's Buffalo. 2-on-1, Scamora with speed down the right side. Stopping, holding from the slot, put a shot in, and that one deflected. I thought that might have nearly hit off the netting, but play continues.
I thought that Katie Fitzgerald might have got a glove on that too as it came by.
So Accursi is serving the penalty for Casorso, but just a 2-minute minor up on the board, and we'll try to clarify that for you, as it's 1-0 inside of 2 minutes to go in this first period in favor of Metro. Now it's Jenny Ryan, hands it off. There is a shot on goal that was fanned on by Gruschow down low and held on to by Levier. Check that, Ketchum with the shot by the side of the net with 1:46 to go in the first period, 1:13 left in the penalty.
Now the faceoff is going to come outside the zone after the scoring opportunity by the Riveters. I think this might have ended up on the back of the netting. I'm trying to figure out why the puck gets moved outside. I believe that's the case. So not a good start to this power play for the Riveters. We'll have to not only shake off the impact of seeing a teammate get hurt like that, but you sort of have to regroup very quickly right now.
Yeah, just shocking to see Packer down on the ice like that. Couple minutes of a break in between. Ryan from the point, the shot was knifed down by Chesson in the circle. 53 seconds remaining in the penalty that Accursi is serving for Casorso. Buffalo gets it out. Meanwhile, the Metropolitan power play for the season, 25.64%. And the penalty kill for Buffalo, 83.1. As a shot from the wing, stopped by Levier, and now slapped out to the blue line. Good lunging play by Ryan to keep that in.
Outside.
Oh yeah, well that's hard to call. They're going to say that the glove was over the blue line and she brought it back.
Wow, that's like one of those where the plane is, you know? How do you figure out where the plane of the blue line is when you're gloving down a puck? But I thought Ryan did a really good job at least trying to keep this in after some pressure by the Riveters, who have 31 seconds remaining on the power play. I still don't know how that's not a major penalty.
That is.
Casorso, I'm baffled.
I would be interested, and we've got both Matt and Erica downstairs, and we'll get their thoughts on this because they have a little bit of a different perspective than we do, and they may have talked to some folks in the meantime, but that certainly seemed like a 5-minute major. There's Dostal from the point, shot through traffic. Levier somehow made the save, doing the splits. What a stop! And the puck is cleared out to center ice, regained by Dostal, shot back in, and now Kelly Nash will bring it down the wing. From the corner, it's Nash with 38 to play in the first.
Buffalo is screaming that this was offside, but it's going to be a moot point now as the Buttes are able to break out.
Skamora shorthanded, had a good look early on, winds and holds to the wing, looking for Elia in the slot. Pass was mistimed. Riveters get it out to center. It's back to 5-on-5. Each team now 0 for 1 on the power play this afternoon. As the long dump up the boards, Kersey fails to get it in, and Grushow back with it. Knocked down to a knee on the back check. Fans wanting a penalty, they won't get it. And now played ahead by Kersey as Picard will take the dump in for Metropolitan. 3 seconds to go in the period. Riveters will hold it behind the net, and the horn sounds, ending the first 20 minutes of action here at the Barnabas Health Hockey House. What a first period, Sherry, between these two teams. As Amanda Levier late in this one, making a brilliant save on that shot that came in from the Metropolitan power play.
Yeah, this was not only a screenshot, but also a deflected shot, so she really had to adjust things as this shot came in, and somehow was able to see it. Got knocked into by Bray Ketchum. Still able to make the save towards the end of that power play, the only one that the Riveters had in the first period.
Well, we had one goal in this period by Alexa Grushow, Sherry. What an amazing effort by the league's MVP.
This is an absolutely superb solo effort. There was a block by Vint. The puck stays with Grushow, and she seems to be horizontal to the ice when she knocks this puck in. It was absolutely a terrific play by the league's MVP, and you can see why she got that honor.
Back up in the press box here at the Barnabas Health Hockey House alongside Sherry Ross. I'm Phil Jubileo. Thank you all for watching the game this afternoon on Twitter. Twitter Sports is bringing you live coverage of the Isobel Cup Final. Just a fun first 20 minutes of this Isobel Cup Final, but a bit of a somber note late in the period. Madison Packer led the league in scoring during the regular season, had a hat trick on the final day of the regular campaign. Gets boarded by Sarah Casorso, and right now our thoughts are with her as she's being tended to in the locker room.
And not only is she important to the Riveters, but it's just important for a person not to get injured in this kind of game. This is the pinnacle of the season that everybody's been waiting for, and for Packer, such an important player, to get hurt like that and to be helped off the ice very gingerly. I mean, that's the hopes, is that she's going to be okay. And, of course, the Riveters have to try to shake it off if she's not able to come back.
Yeah, when you lose a player like that, you look at the obvious overall health of Madison Packer. Fortunately, she was able to get up, skate under her own power, and get off the ice. So you hope that regardless of what happens today, she's going to be okay. And I feel pretty comfortable that she will be okay. But the rest of this game, obviously, right now, very much in the balance.
It certainly is. And she's, of course, a big physical player. She's a tough player. We'll see if she can come back, but certainly hope that she's 100%.
Meanwhile, Rebecca Vint had a great first period scoring chance. She was unable to bury the puck, but she's downstairs with our Erica Ayala.
Okay, I'm here with Rebecca Vint from the Buffalo Buttes. Rebecca, seemed like a back and forth first period, but you did have an opportunity there. What'd you see?
Oh, I saw the back of the net, that's for sure. I think it just kind of got stuck in my glove and my stick, and then Fitz just got a little bit of it, and that's all it took just to keep it out. But I think all the chances are there, and we're getting the opportunities, and that's what matters.
And thinking defensively, obviously the team is down 1 goal, but still early. What do you think the team has to do in order to get that equalizer and maintain the Riveters' attack?
I think we just need to calm down a little bit. It's 1 goal, that's nothing. 1 shot, 1 goal, and it's a back-to-back game, and we're back to 1-1. And I think all we have to do is keep our composure and keep battling to the end and give it our all.
Thank you. Best of luck.
Thank you. Thanks.
Well, we're back up here in the booth as you see Alexa Grushow, the amazing individual effort, falling down to the ice and beating Mandy Levier. It's Metropolitan 1-0 over Buffalo through 20 minutes of play. We've got more intermission action for you coming up. You're watching the Isobel Cup Final.
We are the early risers,
It's nice and snug.
the DIYers. We are determined, crazy, diehard. We are loyal.
Up the wing they come.
We are proud.
She shoots. She scores! Maggie Duggan to the top of the mountain.
We are brewed for this. America runs.
You're going to count me in or just point? You're going to count me in or point? Just point.
I'm just going to point.
Okay. And welcome back. We're in the first intermission. I'm here with the head of the National Women's Hockey League's Players Association, Anya Battolino. I'm Matt Falkenberry. It's 1-0 Riveters at the end of one period. And Anya, first, thanks for joining us here on the broadcast.
Thanks so much for having me. I mean, this is a great game. The fans are going nuts. I mean, the game is unreal. So thanks for having me. You know I could always chat.
Riveters up 1-0. What did you think about that first period overall for both teams?
You know, I think that Buffalo came out a little bit fast. I think they had a lot of shots on net quickly, and Fitzy just said, hey, no more. Alexa picks the puck up down low, pops it in, and I think that changed the entire pace of the game. So started off thinking, maybe we're in some trouble here, but at the end of the day, I think that both teams came out for a cup.
Let's talk a little bit about the Players Association. Season 3 was a great success this year. A lot of new faces coming into the league and making a point to just play so well this year. What do you think about the league as a overall with all the new players coming into the Players Association?
I mean, it's amazing, right? It speaks to the volumes of what we're doing, why we're here, and being a union or an association that is new, it takes us a lot of time to figure out where do we fit, what do we need, what works for our players, and this year I think we hit our stride. So happy to see the rookies come in and make it into the All-Star game and be playing unreal. I mean, every single team is littered with unbelievable rookies, and I think that's a huge testament to the sport of women's hockey and as a whole.
This was Olympic year, of course, Team USA winning the gold medal. What was the feeling like for you when you saw that they had won the gold?
I was sitting down and watching the game, and I think we were all in our PJs because it was at 3 a.m., and I just cried. I just started crying because that's why those players work so hard. That's why we dedicate all of our time to making sure players have a resource, because they come from the league, they come from all of this foundation of hard work with our players that are going to continue to play on for the Isobel Cup, and then they go win a gold. I mean, at the end of the day, all we can say is that we're proud of our girls, and I'm so proud that they brought back a gold.
With the Players Association, obviously, with the Pagulas buying the Buttes, the Devils partnering with the Riveters, is there something in the future that you could see maybe the Boston Bruins getting involved, maybe one of the local teams like the Islanders or Rangers getting involved with the Whale? The Penguins obviously have helped out as well. Just talk about how the professional men's teams have gotten involved in this game and what they've meant to the league this year.
I mean, they are our lifeblood. I mean, I say that every day about the fans, but working with those types of organizations and having people lean in and say, this is where hockey's going, and hockey is for everyone, and signing the declaration and doing all these different things. And the NHL is leaning in, and I know we all say, oh, quicker, sooner, more, how do we make this whole experience better? But these tides are turning, and it's so awesome to have organizations like, you know, you said a couple, highlighting a few, right? We have the Devils, we have the Penguins, we have the Buttes, the Sabres. And working with those organizations is like fueling us back up, and I think that it just speaks volumes. Everyone will get involved eventually, and once they do, it'll just be a really powerful organization.
There's been a lot of talk about one league with the CWHL and the NWHL. What is your thoughts on that?
I mean, personally, I think that having a place to play is an amazing thing. And I played in the CWHL, I played in the NWHL, and I think each one has a great power. And I think that one day when they converge, it'll be an amazing place for the sport of women's hockey. So, you know, personally, hey, bring it on. I think we could have a really fun game, maybe like a playoff between the final two teams, but it's all in my head, right? I want the sport to grow, and if it grows organically in Canada and in the North American region with us as well, there's more teams and there's more people playing hockey, so I love it.
You have a huge responsibility today. Whoever wins this game, you're going to be presenting them with the Isobel Cup, and of course, there's been controversy about what happened to the handle, so you might have an inkling of what happened. You've teased it before. What happened to the handle?
I think I might get a slap on the wrist, but what happened was, last year I was pulling it out of the thing, and I was so excited that the Buttes were going to win, and I got too excited, and I reached in, grabbed it improperly, and grabbed the handle first and ripped the handle right off. And I looked at Danny, and I have the handle in my hand, and I'm like, what did I just do? And she goes, rip the other one off. Like, we can't have one handle. So I just ripped the other one off, and I carried it out.
There you go. There it is. The story has finally been revealed. Anya ripped the handles off because she's got superhuman strength. There's no doubt about that. This week, you wrote an article for Outsports, part of the SB Nation blogs, coming out as a gay person. Just what was that feeling like to write that article, go live, and see all the support that you earned with the article coming out?
It was a godsend. I mean, watching people lean in and watching people embrace my story as their own and talk to them and feel connected. I mean, our sport is so approachable and so easy to connect with, and having people lean in and say, hey, I'm proud of you, or, you know, good for you in Madison, or whatever they reached out and said, it made my heart full. I mean, it's amazing.
40 minutes ago, Riveters are up 1-0, but the Buttes have come back on the Riveters before in the past. What do you think is going to happen in the next 40 minutes?
I think the team that wants it more is going to come out with the W. It comes down to want at this point. You can't prepare any more than just wanting it more than the other person. So let's see who comes out with the fire.
Anya, it's always great working with you on the broadcast. We've done it before, and it was a pleasure having you here. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks so much. I'll see you guys later. Have fun.
All right, well, that is Anya Battolino. Let's bring in Erica Ayala right now. Of course, my partner here ringside, as the Riveters are up 1-0 against the Buttes. You just spoke with one of the Buttes players. What were they talking about? I wasn't able to hear it because I was all the way on the other side of the ring. What's their thoughts after 20 minutes of play?
Well, we're talking to Rebecca Vint, and it's just, you know, it's a good game. It's fast-paced. Vint, unfortunately, wasn't able to get that goal. She said she saw it wide. She saw it, visualized it go in, but it's just that the team is going to have to keep pushing. It's an aggressive game, as it usually is between these two sides.
Alexa Grushow scored, and I was sitting in the crowd right in front of the goal. One of the greatest goals I've ever seen in my entire life. Almost on a knee, somehow roofed the shot over Levier's shoulders. Just talk about what you saw on that goal. That was incredible.
Well, Alexa Grushow, we get to see Alexa a lot live. She's a gritty player, and she's been doing that truthfully all season. We've seen a few of those shots go in this regular season, and Alexa is able to finish. She attacks hard and is able to get that finish. It might not always be pretty, but a goal is a goal.
Absolutely, and a goal is definitely a goal in the Isobel Cup final. They'll take them any way that they can get them. The Buttes, after the power play against Burke, played a good few minutes, but then they struggled a little bit down the stretch, including that really bad hit there from Casorso on Packer. What were your thoughts about that?
Overall, we knew this was going to be a physical game. However, maintaining the aggressive play, especially for the Buttes, is going to be important. We already see that it's got them in the box, and we know that the Riveters can be dangerous on the power play.
Riveters are leading it 1-0. What do you think about the next 40 minutes? What do you foresee happening, especially in the second period?
I heard a little bit of what Anya said. I'd have to agree with her. You know, it's just about whatever team wants it the most. The Riveters can't sit back on a one-goal lead because you can expect the Buttes to come back firing.
We're going to throw it to break right now. The Riveters and Buttes in the Isobel Cup final. The Riveters leading Buffalo by a score of 1-0. We'll be back. We'll throw it up to the booth right after this. This is the NWHL live on Twitter.
We are the early risers.
Make sure it's nice and snug.
The DIYers. We are determined.
Go, USA on three. 1, 2, 3, USA!
Crazy.
Minute to go.
Die hard.
Winning time for USA hockey.
We are loyal.
Up the wing they come.
We are proud.
She shoots. She scores! Maggie Duggan to the top of the mountain.
We are brewed for this. America runs on Duncan.
Back at the Barnabas Health Hockey House in Newark, New Jersey, alongside Sherry Ross, I'm Phil Giubileo. During the season, this is the home of the Metropolitan Riveters. The playoffs dictated that the top seed get home ice for the final. The Riveters ran the table, Sherry, during the regular season, and they have a chance here to win the cup in their own building, leading by 1 after 20 minutes.
And I really think that's fair. I think you play all season for the right to have the game in your home building if you do get to the finals. This is the first time that the Riveters have gotten to the finals. As a matter of fact, they picked up their first playoff win in their history last weekend in this building. That was the 5-0 win over the Connecticut Whale. So yes, you work all season to get this home ice advantage. And with home ice advantage, you get certain things. You get your fans, and you also get the last change, and that helps your team defensively. So we've seen some things happen in the first period that maybe were to the Metropolitans' benefits because they are on home ice.
You mentioned Katie Fitzgerald. She had a rough playoff last season against this Buffalo team, but she had some big first period saves.
Yeah, she had some tests early. She had a couple of good shots. There was an Elia one-timer. Jess Jones from the right wing. Vint had a bouncing puck in front, and Skamura with a chance short-handed. So a lot of tests for Katie Fitzgerald in that first period.
Meanwhile, the goaltending on the other side of the ice in Amanda Levier, who was victorious here against Katie Fitzgerald last season. She had some big first period saves as well. Tough for her to give up that goal to Grushow, but not many were going to stop her.
Yeah, Grushow was absolutely awesome on that one goal, and she was forced to make other saves, was Levier. Some shots that came through a crowd, deflected shots, so she was a busy goaltender too. Not a lot of shots in that first period. The shots on goal favored the Riveters 8-6, but there were quality chances on both sides.
Those are the official shots after 20 minutes of play. As we will stand by here up in the press box, as in just a moment we will send it downstairs. Let's go to Matt Falkenberry with Chad Weissman.
Thanks, guys. And with head coach Chad Weissman, first coach, what's the status of Madison Packer right now?
She's back on the bench, so she'll be starting the period. She's tough, so I think she'll be all right.
What'd you think about that hit?
I actually didn't see the hit, so I can't really comment on it. So I'll take a look at it after the game, but it is what it is. It's over with now.
Early 1-0 lead after 20 minutes. What does your team have to do the next 40 minutes to bring this home?
We got to do a better job with our exits out of our zone, and we got to establish a bit better forecheck and a little bit more offensive zone play.
Thanks, Coach.
Okay, thanks.
Back to you guys.
Katie Fitzgerald, as we get set for the start of the second period. Of course, the big news is that Madison Packer is back on the bench for the second period, and she's actually on the ice, Sherry, getting ready to begin the second period of play. So despite what looked like a devastating hit late in that first period where she kind of walked off a little bit groggy, we may know the full story at some point, but right now she's a hockey player.
She is, and they are tough, and these women are tough. They are athletes, they are professional athletes. Madison Packer, I think you would have to keep her off with rope and chains. You have to really lock her away in a closet somewhere to make sure she couldn't get out here, because if she's able to, she's going to come out and play. And as a matter of fact, she's out there with her usual line mates, Erica Lawler and Rebecca Russo, to start this second period. So what a boost this has got to be emotionally for the Riveters.
I don't think there was a player more driven down the stretch. And this season, after missing 4 games to start the year, than Madison Packer, 18 points in a dozen games, 10 goals, and the Riveters have the puck inside the Buffalo zone to start this second period. Lawler, cross ice off the stick of Colzer, knocks it down the boards to the corner, and it's Packer dropping it back off, now to the far point, and from the right point, the shot by Colzer broken up. Packer trying to drop it off in front. Lawler was there, but Levier smothered first.
And in the intermission, we sort of figured out what the penalty situation it was with Sarah Casorso, a 2-minute minor for boarding that was served by Taylor Accursi, and then a 10-minute misconduct, so she's still in the box. Casorso, in a game November 4th against the Riveters, had a cross-check and a fight. She ended up being suspended for a game, so she's got a history against the Riveters.
Face-off is controlled, and the slot Dench with a shot. Nice sliding block by Corrine Bowie. And Bowie has the puck out to the neutral zone along the left wing. Chipped down the boards. Got taken out by Ryan. Ahead now for Dench. Cleared to center for Ketchum. Locked up by Murphy. Second effort, shot back in from offside. So the Rivs touch up. And it's Bowie for Buffalo along right wing. Gains the center line, and now the Riveters zone. Down a goal here early second, a little over 1 minute. Played as Bowie. Got it to the corner. Sharp angle try was deflected, and Dench will pass back in behind her net for Burke. Held in by Burns. Threw the puck out in front. It was broken up by Ryan. Over to Dench. Goes cross ice to Ketchum, skating along right wing. Riveters change with the 1-0 lead, a minute 20 play to the second. And now Colleen Murphy will shovel it back toward the corner, where Burns will nudge it forward, and Jess Jones gets it out of danger to center ice. Stretch Johnson back with it along the left wing, slaps it in from the checkered line to the right corner, off the stick of Rafter. And from the corner, it was Dostal trying to shoot, it got blocked. Lewicki comes up with it, gets around Nash, puck at center ice. Caught up in the skate of Lewicki, was able to recover and get the puck deep into the Metro zone.
This is just the kind of game you wanted between these two teams. A little bit of an edge, very tight game. I think it's going to stay that way right till the end.
Shot in by Greco from the right point. Puck drifted off the boards. Chesson holds in from the left side, throws it toward the right corner. As the Buttes, big physical team, looking to cycle. And Shiroka was trying to center that puck out in front. Lewicki was there. Now it's Shiroka. Back to Jackie Greco. Cross-ice pass broken up by Harrison Brown. Was locked up briefly. Now it's Chesson coming back the other way. Down the right wing side. Chesson holding. Pass in front. Had someone in the crease. That was Kunachika, fanned on it. She had a look like that in the first period. Very close to the goalpost. Couldn't finish. And now Packer coming down the left wing. Packer holding off a skater. Drops it to Rafter, and the shot gets blocked in the slot. That was Maddie Elia with the block. Now she has it up the right wing. Into the Metro zone. Tries to toe drag around. Long clear ahead. Racing it down is Lawler. Beat to the puck. Icing waved off. Edney gets it around to Kunachika. Can't chip it by Picard. And now it's Murphy going D-to-D around for Sarah Edney.
Kunachika really an underrated player. I mean, Elia and Skamora get all the headlines. Kunachika's had a fantastic season. A very quiet player. Played for Buffalo all 3 seasons.
That entire line finishing, and perhaps it's fitting, tied for the team lead in points. They all had 14. Kunachika played in every game but the season opener and Connecticut back at the end of October. Like no one on this, aside from Amanda Levier, played in every game.
I know, it's kind of an amazing stat that only the goalie would be able to hold up under a 16-game season.
She played all but 32 seconds in net. They gave Kelsey Newman a chance to play in the final moments of that regular season finale at Terry Connors Rink in Stamford, Connecticut. As the puck out in the neutral zone shot in. 16:08 and counting left in the second period. 1-0 Riveters.
Well, obviously, this is going to be an understatement, but the next goal in this game, I think, is going to be just enormous and may really determine the outcome of this one.
Johnson unable to keep it in at the left point. Had some control issues at center, but was able to pass across, and Dench comes back in, but offside. As we look at Lisa Chesson, who had a good look from the corner, but no one was out in front to take that puck.
You know, Chesson, a defender, not afraid to come in deep. We've seen a lot of these kind of plays. It looks like something Buffalo wants to do against Katie Fitzgerald. Make the plays from in deep across the front where you can get a deflection. Maybe bank it in off the goaltender if the goaltender doesn't come out and play her angle well.
Yeah, try to make her move. I think she's so good when she's stationary and has that angle to the puck. And you're right, Sherry. I think they're just trying to get her to go goalpost to goalpost. Maybe they notice something that she's not as quick, and by using that crossing play that they might have a chance. But you got to finish that. It's a tough pass to make. As Johnson's point shot blocked in the low slot. Puck is out in front, shot, and it drifted wide. Kelly Nash was right there with a great chance.
She was in a little too tight, I think, to get any sort of angle on Levier, but a good in-tight chance for the Riveters.
There's Harrison Brown, sharp angle, and the shot was sticked away by Levier. Back to the right point for Dostal. Now over to Rafter. Back checked away by Jess Jones. Riveters keep it in the zone. And a sharp angle try by Dostal broken up. Packer just jumped on the ice. Jones with it. That prevented a chance for Jones to kind of advance up. The D were back for Metropolitan, and Johnson gets it to Dostal. So moves the puck up ahead, and a good spin play by Rebecca Russo to clear some space. And it's Russo to the slot. Shot got blocked. Kept alive by Lawler, and she gets stripped, and it's a Kersey with Lewicki. 2-on-2. A Kersey from the wing, and the shot was denied. Riveters look to get it out. Lawler had it broken up briefly. And along the right wing, it's Jackie Greco trying to hold the puck inside the Metropolitan zone. And now it's Lewicki. Pass out in front, and that was broken up as Colleen Murphy with it in the corner gets cut off by Michelle Picard. Rimmed around back to the near side, and Lewicki, the opposing number 27, will keep it deep in the Metropolitan zone. A 1-goal advantage here for the Riveters. 14:10 remaining in this second period.
Lawler missed a practice during the week for the Riveters, but it looks like she's in pretty good skating shape today.
Maddie Ilya had it pressured away by Ketchum. And from behind the net, Colzer fails to get it clear. Jordan Burns kept it alive, looking to move it down. She got tangled up, and now a 2-on-1. It's Russo. Along the right wing side has Grushow. Russo walks in front, shot blocker, save made. What a stop by Mandy Levier.
2-on-1, Russo using that speed. Grushow coming down the middle. Russo takes the shot and a pad save by Levier.
Russo using Grushow as a bit of a decoy. Great chance by Rebecca. The Connecticut native denied on an even better save by Amanda Levier. And here come the Buttes. Kunachika walking in front, quick shot, sticked away by Fitzgerald. Great look. Kunachika kind of used a bit of a head fake, and now it's the Riveters back the other way. It's a track meet here in Newark, poked away at the line. Courtney Burke will spin back to her own blue, gets it over to Harrison Brown. He pokes it ahead to Grushow, leads it to the right side off the body of Dench, back in behind for Brown by the side of the net, and it's smothered by Amanda Levier, and we're seeing a little bit of mixing and matching in the line combos here by the Riveters.
Well, Dench is able to get an opportunity as she came in 2-on-1 with Grushow, and you're right, she used Grushow definitely as a decoy as Grushow cut to the right. Dench took the shot, saved by Levier, and Harrison Brown a few moments ago was out, as you mentioned, on a mixed line. It looked like he tried to bank in a shot off of a Buffalo defender, but Levier able to cover it up for this faceoff.
Well, it's back to Lawler, Packer, and Rebecca Russo with the faceoff coming to the left of Levier. Standing room sellout here in Newark this afternoon as the puck controlled by Buffalo. Jess Jones at center to the right for Corrine Bowie. Bowie down the boards to the corner. Met by Colzer and Pagard, flanked behind Metro net. Able to stay with the puck. Corrine Bowie along the half boards. Gets tied up briefly by Colzer. Jones comes in, takes the puck there. Jones along the goal line, had Vint out in front. Now to the right side. Murphy shot through traffic, but Packer blocked it. Now back to Chesson, his shot fought off. Big save by Fitzgerald. There was a screen out in front. Was able to poke that away. Buttes keep it in the zone. Here's Jess Jones in the corner. Dropped it back. Russo took it away. Rimmed it around hard for Packer. Gets it out to center ice, and it's regained by the Buttes.
Yeah, Russo was tripped and went down a little bit hard just a moment ago in the defensive zone. She comes to the bench.
There's a Kersey, top of the left wing circle. Shot was wide, and Harrison Brown along the near wing side. He'll play it behind himself to Colzer. Rimmed around, and we'll see an icing called here as it's tracked down by Edney with 11:52 to play in the second, 1-0 Metro.
Oh, both goaltenders have been stellar. The last opportunity, the best one coming for Chesson. Shot looks like it was coming through when the Fitzgerald got a piece of it. That's when Russo got tripped at the side of the net. Looks like she's going to be okay.
Face-off will be to the left of Katie Fitzgerald. Schroka's line on. Third line for the Ribs, led by Rafter. Buttes win the draw. Lewicki back to the point. Chesson inching in. Wrist shot. Glove save made by Fitzgerald. And she is looking alive here in this second period as yet to allow a goal in the postseason.
Yeah, this comes off the icing, so the face-off win by Buffalo sets up the opportunity for Chesson just inside the blue line, the former Olympian for the U.S. Able to get a shot away and a sharp glove save by Katie Fitzgerald. Face-off stays to Fitzgerald's left.
She had 13 saves last week, 6 in the first period as a Kersey, and she's had a handful already here in this second as the Buttes keep pressure inside the zone of Metropolitan. Kaylin Shiroka with a Kersey. The lead was a bit too far. Dostal played up the boards, a little pinch there. Buttes keep it alive in the zone briefly, but now Metropolitan with a chance to dump it out. And that was Dench getting it out to center. It was fronted by Lewicki. Centered out in front. Chesson having some trouble, and she ends up back skating into the goaltender, Levier, who has to smother and hang on with 11:11 to play in the period.
The great thing about Levier is if you follow her on Twitter and Instagram, she's hilarious. She has staged a lot of things where she's in her goalie equipment, snowboarding, skateboarding, shopping, and yet she's got that fighting goaltender mentality. So she's able to sort of separate her ice life, I think, from her life away from the rink. And maybe that's what helps keep a goaltender sane.
She joined the pro ranks last season in a situation where Brianne McLaughlin was the clear #1 goaltender on the Buffalo team. She said, hey, give me a chance. She got a chance. ended up earning a playoff start here in this building as there's a hand pass out at center ice, and it just shows you that, you know, even you go into a situation, you're not the clear number one, just like Katie Fitzgerald a year ago was the third goaltender to start off the season, but due to injuries and whatnot, she got a chance, and look what we have here today.
It is amazing. And also when you think before Katie Fitzgerald joined the NWHL, she was playing in a men's league in her home state because there was no place else for her to go. Got the call from Chad Weissman, and look how things have turned out for her, the 2017 goaltender of the year.
Little tie up along the boards in the Metropolitan zone. Packer will drop it back off her. Lawler had it poked away. Good keep in, and it's Haley Scamora from the edge of the right wing circle. Had it nudged away. Puck along the wall. Riveters finally come away with it as Burke sent it across the boards. Ilya able to keep it in. Ilya from the left wing. Shot was deflected. Now Kunichika back to the right side. Haley Scamora with a spin. Tried to drop that off in the corner. Jenny Ryan leads it ahead, and Russo now shovels it hard off the boards to get it out to center ice, but quickly regained by Murphy. Riveters have spent a lot of time in their zone here in this second period. Kunichika, pass to the corner. Murphy has Jones out in front, shot, and a save made. What a stop by Fitzgerald. Jones from the inside part of that right circle trying to nestle the puck inside the near post, but was denied.
Well, midway through the second period, and it has pretty much been all Buffalo. They've been able to keep the puck in the zone, and that exhausts the Riveters. They're not able to make the change. This is a long change for them in this period, and Buffalo really starting to take control here.
Chesson shot blocked by Bray Ketchum. Picard in the corner pressured. Got the puck ahead though. Ketchum gets it out to center. Now it's Chesson along the near wing. Gets it back into her own zone. Feeds ahead for Corrine Bowie, the Buffalo captain. Up the boards. Jess Jones rinked wide to Vint on the tape. Here's Vint. Backhand try blocked by Kolzer. Puck is still live deep. Vint taken on to the play. Now along the right wing. It's played to Chesson in the slot. Pass to the left wing side. Quick shot from the circle. And Burns, who inched in for that opportunity, denied. As Corrine Bowie gets a second effort, blocked right back to her. And ahead to the point for Jordan Burns, who tried to throw that in front. And it was blocked again. And now it's Metropolitan into the Buffalo zone. The pass out in front. Alexa Grushow was there, that time falling down to the ice and unable to connect. It's Ketchum behind the net, letting it skip by for Johnston. Ashley Johnson will pinch. Sharp angle try went through the crease and buck up the board. Secure it Dostal. Dostal throws it deep. And finally, the Riveters get a little bit of offensive zone time. Harrison Brown ahead to the left point. Johnson across to the right point. And the shot there is broken up. Regained down low by Nash. Shot is blocked by Vint. And now Lisa Chesson worked around back. Can't get it out. Johnson again. Good play by Bowie to block it, but coming over is Nash to take it away. And the Riveters look like they have a power play for the moment until that mistimed pass, and the puck creeps out to the neutral zone.
Well, this is the Riveters sort of getting their legs back under them after Buffalo has dominated through most of the first half of the second period.
Kelly Nash, Tatiana Rafter, flanking Jess Jones. It's Rafter in the corner. On the right side, picked up to Nash and ahead to the right point for Ryan. Now to Burke, who just jumped on. Cross-ice pass back to the right side, and the shot was blocked. That was off the stick of Kelly Nash, but it's Rafter able to keep the zone and thrown in behind the Buttes net. Metropolitan changing on the fly. Shiroka can't get it out. Here's Nash down low. Russo, sharp angle try. Big save by Levier.
What a good shift by the third line. The energy line keeping the puck pinned in, and then Russo coming over the boards to get that short angle try.
Well, you could feel something brewing here inside this Buffalo zone. Metropolitan owning things for the moment. Pinched in deep, now back around a Lawler. Was 4'10". Now across to the right point. Back to the left for Burke with a rocket, and it was wide of the post. Jenny Ryan chips it back up to Packer. Now to Burke on the left side from the half boards in the centering pass slash shot broken up by Chesson. Rimmed around back to the right wing, and Packer has looked okay here in second period time after taking that hit in the first. Moved it down, but Buffalo able to come away with it.
A lot of possession. Sorry, Phil. A lot of possession time for the Riveters, but really not able to get many quality shots during that time. Buffalo doing a good job of blocking in front of Levier.
Under 7 minutes to go, and it's been a while without a stoppage in this middle frame, and finally the puck is frozen along the board. 6:53 to play in the second period. Still 1-0 Metropolitan, as it's all about the cup this afternoon from Barnabas Health Hockey House in Newark, New Jersey. Back after this on Twitter.
We are loyal.
Up the wing they come.
We are proud.
She shoots. She scores! Maggie Duggan to the top of the mountain.
We are brewed for this. America runs on Duncan.
Well, back here in Newark, New Jersey, Chad Weissman, who will be coaching the junior ranks in men's hockey next season, coaching his final game with the Metropolitan Riveters. It would be quite a way to go out, Sherry, with a championship.
You would, of course, love to finish his 3-year stint as coach of this team and general manager with an Isobel Cup final. But standing in the way is the team that did it last year, the Buffalo Beauts. They are looking to repeat as champions. They've got 2 NHLers behind the bench in Craig Muni and Rick Sealing. And this game's only 1-0. Buffalo last year able to enjoy the victory on home ice.
And Craig Muni, one of the co-coaches on that team, became the first person to win both the Stanley Cup and an Isobel Cup. He won 3 Stanley Cups with Edmonton.
Well, this is the team-winning picture taken last year by the Beauts, and you know, you can see the influence of the NHL in the way that both of these teams are prepared. Weissman also played in the AHL and NHL, and of course the duo behind the bench for the Buffalo Beauts looking to get the first repeat winner in NWHL history.
Or we may see the first non-Buffalo Boston winner in the NWHL Isobel Cup final. The only team now not to have appeared is Connecticut, the Whale. They were a second-place team back in the inaugural campaign, and it was this Buffalo team that went on the road and won a 3-game series in Stamford, Connecticut.
Things have changed, of course. Just 3 years is only the 3rd year down the road as the league kind of tinkers with things, trying to make things as perfect as possible. 4-team league. And if the Riveters win today, they would be the 3rd of the founding 4 to be able to claim the championship.
And right now they have a 1-0 lead with 6:38 to play in the second. They're going to re-drop the puck, and it looks like Alesha Grushow is being told to return to the bench following the icing. And Erica Lawler will come back, so the officials finally realizing that last second, and Packer will come in to draw against Maddie Elia. Nope, she's going to lose. She's going to come out. Lawler very good in that department. Lost that face-off. Casorso from the wing, the shot and the save made by Fitzgerald. Maddie Elia back along the half boards and chipped down to Kunichika.
So Casorso has done serving her 10-minute misconduct that she received in the first period for the hit on Madison Packer.
First shift on the ice here in the second for her. Finally, after that media timeout, she got a few extra minutes in the sin bin because of all that play.
Yeah, there's no stoppage.
Exactly. Russo on the near side. Center to Lawler. Now coming over is Kelsey Colzer. Back looking for Packer, who's turned around a little bit, and an icing called as a result. We'll bring the face-off back into the Metro zone with 5:59 to go in the period.
Players probably happy to get a little bit of a breather with a whistle, a couple of whistles right now, because that was just up and down hockey. Very north-south as these two teams. You know, this is when you're a player, this is where you want to test yourself. You want to know how you're going to respond in the situation. And looks like it's going to be a timeout called here.
I think Metropolitan is using their timeout, which isn't a bad play at this point. With a 1-0 lead, with 5:59 to go in the second. That goal scored back in the first on an amazing play by Alexa Grushow.
Yeah, the league's MVP, showing why she earned that honor. She is just able to take a block shot, and as she's being tripped by Rebecca Vint driving to the net, able to backhand the puck in past Amanda Levier. That was made it a 1-0 lead. That was just 5:33 into the game. No goals have been scored since then. There have certainly been a number of chances. Grushow now getting some advice from her coach as well as the rest of her teammates as they take a little breather here on the timeout.
Grushow a few minutes ago It was a good centering pass for her, but she just couldn't get to that puck and ended up falling in the slot. She couldn't make magic happen twice. That first goal in the opening period by Grushow, one of the best in league history. We could say that. This game's not even over. Just there have been some great individual efforts in 3 seasons of NWHL play. I can't say I've seen a goal like that.
You're going to see that goal no matter how long this league exists for years to come, because it was just spectacular.
Now, this one might end up on someone's top 10, one would hope, based on how that one was scored. You talked about it being Bobby Orr-esque, the flying through the air type of play. It was that kind of goal. You think of, I know the overtime winner, Clarkson, recently in NCAA women's play. It was an equally brilliant goal as well. And now here come the Riveters down the right wing side. Grushow with a drop pass looking for Dench, and it's broken up.
Yeah, Edney with a really good defensive play, reading that pass, coming back perfectly.
Puck cleared out of the zone, sent down by Corrine Bowie, and an icing whistle on Buffalo with 5:14 to play in the period as we look at Grushow once again.
Yeah, Grushow trying to set up goal number 2, but just a nice play by Edney. She gets a stick in the way as the puck was coming back to Dench, and able to knock the puck aside, prevent a scoring chance for the Riveters.
It's Lawler, Packer, Russo, Burke, and Ryan on for Metropolitan. Packer back to the left point. Burke slaps it down, trying to time it for Russo. Does find her. Russo curling to the slot, pops to a knee. Nice one-handed pass to the right point. Shot deflected wide, and it was Packer in the crease. Got her stick on it, couldn't finish. Back to Burke, and now across for Jenny Ryan. Faced up by Chesson, now thrown down the boards.
Packer might have seen that too late to really do anything with it.
Right point, Ryan again sends a high shot, and that was fought off. That might have hit Rebecca Russo. A little late popping back up, and she struggles to get to the Metropolitan bench and comes off on a change.
That might have glanced high off of Russo.
Well, she's going to just get looked at briefly by the trainer, and she's ignoring her on the bench right now, just probably trying to get the sting out. As it's still a 1-0 game, 4:20 to play in the second. This one as advertised. Harrison Brown, pass out in front, broken up by Edney, and out in the crease. The shot by Rafter was pushed wide. Now it's Lewicki out to center. Kristen Lewicki into the Metropolitan zone, shoveled out by Dostal. And here's Rafter. Rafter, top of the right wing circle, and the shot blocked by Edney. Rafter caught an edge. Coming over, Kelly Nash curls to the right wing circle on the backhand, a shot, and it's just past the outstretched leg of Amanda Levier. Meanwhile, away from the puck, you had Harrison Brown, and a bit of a war of words there with Sarah Edney, and bumping and shoving as well. Meanwhile, back in the red zone, Grushow leads it for Ray Ketchum, and taken away by Lewicki. Met at the line by Ketchum, and Lewicki able to track it back down for the Buttes.
Harrison Brown won an Isobel Cup with the Buttes last season, so kind of strange to face against your former teammates.
Well, on the left, here's Ketchum, hands to Dench. High slot, Burke walks in, shot, oh, and it was drifting and just wide as Mie Dench keeps it in the zone for Metropolitan, tied up by the rookie Elia, and she gets banged along the boards. As the puck nudges up to Kunachika, gets it out to center. Can't get it past Kelsey Colzer. Good job by her to lock the puck away from the streaking Courtney Kunachika, as Picard in the corner got caught up by an official. Stays with the puck, but Scamora cuts in front of Dench. Throws it toward the corner. Now to Elia looking for Kunachika in front. Fails to click on the pass. And the momentum takes that puck all the way back into the Butte zone, where it's Casorso accepting the pass by Murphy. Going rink wide. Back over to Scamora as she takes it away from Kelsey Colzer and lifts it in with 2:35 to go in the second. A 1-0 Metropolitan lead. Alexa Grushow at 5:33 of the first. The game's only goal. Puck out in the neutral zone, 2-on-1. Here's Dench, has Russo in front, shot, and a save made by Levier.
Dench just stripped that puck from Edney. It was just a force of will to get down the boards and set up that scoring opportunity.
Kunachika tied up at the line, and it's Russo trying to lead Packer. Thrown back the other way by Burns of Buffalo. Colzer gets back to it at the center line, and from the left side, she'll swing it in. Levier left it behind for Burns. Lawler streaks over to cut in front of the much taller defender, and now by the side of the net, the backhand try by Packer was blocked out in front. Levier may have gotten a piece of it, and from the right side, it's thrown down the boards. Rebecca Vint will chip it, and is that good? No. Kept in by Ryan, but then lost the handle on it to Vint, and she gained center ice and lobs a bouncer in on net, and that was a tough save by Katie Fitzgerald as the cross-ice pass stolen by Burns. Burns waits for the touch-up and throws it deep into the corner for Buffalo, but the Riveters quickly retrieve it. They can't get it clear. Here's Corrine Bowie going around Brown. Bowie with a shot, and it was blocked by Courtney Burke. End-to-end action here in Newark as Burke gains the center line. She'll slide it in and come off on a change with 1:15 to play in the period.
Yeah, Burke showing why she's the defender of the year, blocking that shot, able to relieve the pressure, at least momentarily, on the Riveters. We're seeing these huge momentum swings in this period alone. There's, stages where Buffalo's controlling, and now the Riveters come back, and then it swings back the other way. It is really nerve-wracking, to be honest.
Final minute of play here in the second as the puck is out in the neutral zone and beyond as Colzer will glide back for it deep into the Metropolitan zone. Kersey forcing her along the board to try to take that away, and Colzer took a hit and is a little bit slow getting up.
Yeah, she's been playing with some kind of hand or wrist injury, and I think she just bounced it again there.
Gruchow from the left wing boards with a keep in. 30 seconds to play in the second. Riveters a 1-0 lead on the first period goal by Gruchow. And now it's Mie Dench ahead to the right point. Delayed penalty coming up, and it's on Buffalo. Here's a shot from the point by Picard, drifts wide, and finally touched up by a Kersey as we get a penalty for interference. It's on Buffalo with 15.8 seconds to go, and what is the first penalty called of this period?
Only the third penalty of the game. Second one called against the, fourth one called if you count the misconduct. Opportunity here for the Riveters. Only 15.8 seconds left, though, in this period. So a little bit difficult to get something going, but maybe they can win the faceoff and get that opportunity right off the draw.
Well, big moment here for Amanda Levier with just under 16 seconds to play in the period. Jackie Greco sent to the box for interference in 1944. Utes control off the draw. Here's Ilya shorthanded, 10 to play, rubbed out by Ryan. Good pressure along the wall. Utes with it deep in their own zone, or check that, Ribs with it deep in their own zone from the corner. Scamora is there, but the horn will sound in the second period. Has come to its conclusion, and we're right back where we were after the end of 20 minutes of play with the Utes trailing the Metropolitan Riveters 1-0, and now we've got some tempers flaring. Maddie Ilya
with Jenny Ryan.
Yeah, right at the end of that period having some words, and this is Utes and Riveters hockey. What else would we expect here today in Newark?
This is hot stuff. I mean, these two teams have had tough battles all season. This play coming at the end of the period as players were starting to leave the bench to go to the dressing room, and it was between Ilya and Ryan. Ilya plays a power game. Ryan's not going to back down, the rookie defender for the Riveters, and then some other players stepping in, trying to calm things down, and then the officials also trying to get things cool off. Bowie and Johnston, the two captains of the teams, are speaking right now with the officials as the period comes to an end. So I think the third period and perhaps the overtime is going to be even more entertaining than this second period was, and it was great.
Well, that's one of the things about this game. It's been very physical, very few penalties called between the two teams, and you talked about it, Sherry. That's when things really can escalate because they're letting them get away with, well, just about anything during the course of this contest.
And that's the problem. If the players don't think there's going to be something called consistently throughout the game, they're just going to keep testing and testing and testing the waters, and then that's when you start to get angry things like that going on and perhaps someone getting hurt. Now, you go back to that Packer injury where she did come back, but that was a boarding call that you and I think both agree should have been a major. It wasn't called, and that sets things off for the rest of the game.
And I really thought after that penalty, as we get a look at the hit Casorso put on Packer late in the second period, I thought maybe at that point the officials really would have clamped down on things in the second. We haven't seen that. Play has been very physical throughout.
It has, and I think it's going to be even more physical as the game goes on because it becomes more and more important. It's just a one-goal game, so nobody wants to take too many chances, but you also want to make sure you're not getting pushed around if the officials don't step in and take things into their hands.
Well, covering the Riveters today is Matt Falkenberry. He's downstairs.
I'm here with NWHL MVP Alexa Grushow, who has the only goal of the game so far through 2 periods. Alexa, what did you see on that goal?
Mia had good patience on it, patience, poise. I gave it to her, and then she waited a sec, drew a defender over, gave it back to me. It just kind of squeaked through the defender's legs, and somehow I got it high, that close of an angle. I don't really know how it went in, but it felt good, that's for sure.
Through 40 minutes, a tight checking game, a low-scoring game. What do you think you're going to see the next 20 minutes?
Same thing as that. Hard-fought game. It's even right now. Every team's going all out, so it's going to be the same thing in the third. Hard-fought battle for who wants it the most.
What's the atmosphere like on the bench in a championship game like this, especially in a tight one like this is right now?
It's loud. We're energized, just like the crowd is. They're getting us going. So everyone's talking on the bench, pumping each other up. It's feeling good.
Thank you, Alexa. Let's throw it back up to the booth.
Thanks, Matt. That was Matt Falkenberry with Alexa Grushow as the only goal after 40 minutes of play in this one. As you see, Brickwall Fitzy's helmet on the ice with the very much coveted Isobel Cup. The Riveters right now are 20 minutes away from a championship. You're watching the Isobel Cup final on Twitter.
We are the early risers,
Make sure it's nice and snug.
the DIYers. We are determined,
Go, USA on 3. 1, 2, 3, USA!
crazy,
Minute to go.
diehard.
Winning time for USA Hockey.
We are loyal.
Up the wing they come.
We are proud.
She shoots. She scores! Maggie Duggan to the top of the mountain.
We are brewed for this. America runs on Duncan.
When I was a little girl, I wanted to play in the NHL.
When it comes down to it, it's all about loving the game.
Now that there's an NWHL, little girls, they have a future. They have something to dream of.
My favorite thing about hockey is scoring goals. I want to keep on going, yeah, I want to be a professional player. I'm happy that NWHL exists because if I want to keep going with my hockey career, then I actually have something to look up to.
What we've done in just the few short years that we've existed is we've created a platform for not only this generation to get paid for being the best at what they do, but also for little girls to go to the rink and be able to see what it means to be a professional athlete.
Very aggressive. Oh yeah, play like a hockey player. Yeah.
You're asking a lot of your body, you're asking a lot of yourself, and it's something that you come to terms with very quickly because the love of the game is something that just keeps you pushing through.
The NWHL exists because there was a huge need for it. There's an opportunity for women to continue playing the sport that they love and excel at. There's really a need from the player perspective, from the fans, and just to create empowerment for women everywhere.
It's been a dream of mine to play at the highest level, and to have the NWHL and to be able to play in that has been amazing.
Sometimes I throw in PPW a little bit, which stands for prove people wrong, and it's just that mentality that no matter what anybody else says, you believe in you and you go out there and you work hard and you have that chip on your shoulder and and play with that grit.
And to be able to be paid to do something you love is absolutely incredible, and I'm so excited for the future of girls hockey.
When I was growing up, a little girl, I thought I was going to go to the NHL, you know, because there was no other league, and obviously, like, that wasn't going to happen. But now I get to play, and I'm building for the next generation of girls to be able to play professional hockey like they're born now, you know.
All these young girls look up to us these days, and it's very, very heartwarming, and it's humbling, and it chokes me up thinking about, you know, I'm a role model to someone that wants to be just like me.
The future for women's hockey is really bright, and we're proud to be pioneers at this level, and we're excited to see what the next few years look like.
And we are here with Boston Pride forward Janine Weber. Janine, how are you today?
I'm good, thank you.
Excellent. So you came to the Isobel Cup final. Just talk to us about what you've seen in the game so far.
I've seen a really good game, goes back and forth, a really nice goal by Alexa. Even watching it on video after, it was so much more impressive. She's like on the ice. The way she lifted it up was amazing, so nice goal.
Yes, very good goal. And of course, you know this Riveters team. You've been teammates with a lot of these women. Talk to me a little bit about just the evolution of this franchise.
Yeah, I think I saw Sid Kidd tweet about it today. She tweeted a shout out to the Riveters, good luck. Started at the bottom in 2015, and good luck to everyone. So I think that's really like kind of like the first year we had a great group, but we didn't do so well in the standings, and I'm happy for them now. They're playing for the Isobel Cup, and they deserve it.
Yes, and of course the news has also come out that Chad Weissman, he's going to be moving on to the Burlington Cougars. Again, you've had 2 seasons with Chad as a coach. What are some of the things that stand out about what he's been able to do as a coach for this franchise?
I think on the ice, he's been like a really great coach for us. And I think what made him so special was he treated us like hockey players. He didn't treat us like female hockey players or like anything else. He treated us like hockey players. I think he always had high expectations for everyone, and I think that's one of the reasons the Riveters are playing here today. And then obviously off the ice, he's a funny person to be around, and he is very honest, he'll tell you. But yeah, I'm happy for him for a new opportunity, and I hope he does really well like he did here.
And speaking of opportunities, obviously you spent this season with the Boston Pride, new coaching staff. Just talk to me about what that journey has been like with you, and then also playing this Buttes team in the semifinals.
Yeah, I think it took us a while this season to get going. I think we really started to get a lot better the last month. Unfortunately, it was not a lot of time. We played a really good game last weekend, but unfortunately lost to the Buttes. They have a good team. They have a lot of good scorers, but I hope the Riveters get this one. I'm a little biased. So.
A little bit biased. And then I also want to talk to you about the women's game internationally. Of course, you play with Team Austria. We've seen the Olympics come by. We have fans that are watching in Australia, in Canada, all over the United States. What has it been like to be a part of this league and to see, even just in the 3 leagues of this, or excuse me, in the 3 years of this league, the women's game grow?
It's awesome to be, right there and witnessing it. I think the Olympics were a great. They showed how women's hockey it has grown so much. It's getting so much more popular. It obviously takes some time to get where the men's game is, but I think the Olympics and even these playoff games have been a great indicator of what women's hockey can be, with a pretty much sold-out game in Buffalo and a great crowd, and the crowd here tonight is amazing too. So I think it's a good future.
And before we let you go, Janine, make sure you give your mom a shout out back in Austria.
I don't know if you're still awake, Mom, but thanks for watching every one of my games and all the other games I'm not even playing in. Thank you.
Thank you, Janine. Enjoy the game.
Thank you.
And now we're going to be joined by Matt Falkenberry. Matt, we just had Janine Weber, an original Riveter, come back and chat with us.
She is one of the great Riveters of all-time leading scorer in a single season, tied with Alexa Grushow. It's great to have her here. I know she's disappointed she's not here with Boston, but one of the great Riveters, and obviously here supporting 4 of her original teammates, and obviously a lot of her teammates here for season 2, which she was here last year.
That's right, and Janine Weber, she was one of the All-Stars selected, unfortunately unable to compete with a shoulder injury. But you and I were there in Minnesota. What are some of the memories you have of that All-Star game?
First of all, just getting picked to call the All-Star game is a memory that I'll have for a lifetime. I know seeing 500,000 fans, plus 500,000 plus fans watching that game, you have no idea how much you, the fans, mean to us broadcasters, watching the game, supporting the league. We're here to bring you the best quality broadcast we can, and to have you all watching to support us, to tell us when we're on the air, when we're not supposed to be, when we're doing good, maybe when we're not doing so good, helping us with name pronunciations. I've had a few screw-ups in my time. We love you all, and I said it at the All-Star game, and I say it now. You guys are the lifeblood of this league. Riveters, Buttes, Pride, and Whale fans, we love you all, and thank you for watching, and thank you for supporting the league.
Basically, I'm just going to co-sign on everything, but we still have a final. We're here at the final, Matt. We're seeing some All-Stars on the ice. Impressions so far, it's a 1-goal lead that the Riveters have, but we know that these Buttes can come out fast and furious in the third.
I had different vantage points watching the first period from the crowd, the second period from right along the penalty boxes. I think Buffalo started off a bit slow. The Riveters got that first goal. That was huge. Buffalo, though, is going to come out strong in the third period. I thought they had a better second period, better puck possession than the Riveters did. Riveters did a lot of counterattacking. I think the team who dominates the puck more in the third period is going to come away with the win. It's 1-0. Don't ever count out the Buttes. The Riveters have only lost 1 game this year when leading after 2 periods of play. That was against Buffalo just 3 weeks ago. Actually, a month ago, excuse me.
These two teams are pretty evenly matched. They split the regular season series, and they've got 1 more game for all the marbles, and the Isobel Cup sans handles, and now we know what happened to them. But we're going to kick it off. We're going to talk to the coaches from the Buttes, so we're going to take a little bit of a break here, and then we'll come back with third period action.
We are the early risers.
Make sure it's nice and snug.
The DIYers. We are determined.
Go, USA on 3. 1, 2, 3, USA!
Crazy.
1 minute to go.
Die hard.
Winning time for USA Hockey.
We are loyal.
Up the wing they come.
We are proud.
She shoots. She scores! Maggie Duggan to the top of the mountain.
We are brewed for this. America runs on Duncan.
Welcome back to the Isobel Cup Final. We are here in Newark, New Jersey at the Barnabas Health Hockey House alongside Sherry Ross, and also with Matt Falkenberry and Erica Ayala. Phil Jubileo with you. By the way, you could join us on Twitter. Sherry is at Sherry Darling on Twitter. I am at PhilGPBP on Twitter. So if you have any comments or questions for us during the broadcast, feel free to kind of, add us on Twitter, or just use one of the NWHL hashtags for today's game. Hashtag Isobel Cup Final is another way we could get to it as well. What a game, Sherry. 40 minutes of play. This has just been outstanding playoff hockey.
I love that this is as advertised. This is exactly the kind of game everybody thought this might come down to. You've got 2 teams that have been at the top of their game all season. You've got 2 terrific goaltenders, including Amanda Levier, the 2018 goaltender of the year, who in the second period was able to make a save on Tatiana Rafter. Not a lot of shots in that second period. The Riveters were able to get 6 shots on goal. The Buttes were able to get 7. So a really tight game, but you've got that edge. You had words between Jenny Ryan and Maddie Elia at the end of the second period. I think that's going to carry over. Everybody's nerves are on edge right now. It's only a 1-0 game, 20 minutes to go, maybe, or more, until somebody is able to win the cup.
Yeah, this will be an interesting third period to play. The officials have kept their whistles in their pockets. A tripping call, the boarding on Casorso. You had a late penalty, though, in the second period on Jackie Greco. In the third period opens with Metropolitan on the power play.
There'll be a minute and 45 seconds remaining on that Greco penalty. It looked like there were no calls made from the exchange between Ryan and Elia, so you just have to keep an eye on that because these two teams hate each other, and that's a good thing for a hockey game, honestly.
Oh, the season series, as even as it could be. First 3 games taken by Metropolitan. Next 3 were taken by Buffalo. The next goal is going to say a whole heck of a lot as to how this one's going to turn out.
Yeah, there was only 1 goal so far in this game. That came at the 5:33 mark. That was Alexa Grushaw, the league's MVP, with an incredible solo effort, although Mia Dench did pick up an assist on that. But right now, that is the 1-0 lead. Will it hold up? Will we have overtime? Let's find out.
Imagine if it ends with the 1-0 final, and that's the goal that gives Metropolitan their cup.
I mean, that would be epic, honestly.
Absolutely.
But we'll see. There's a lot of hockey left. There's been a lot of scoring chances by both teams, and there's so much skill in on both of these sides. So I just think we're in for an incredible 20 minutes or maybe more here.
Well, Alexa Grushaw will open things up, centering Madison Packer on the power play along with Rebecca Russo, joined by Jenny Ryan and Courtney Burke. So the Riveters have the power play to start the third, up a goal. Russo from the left side will swing it in. Grushaw taps it back, gets it to Grushaw, and again back to Russo on the left side, and the puck is cleared out to the center ice area where Ryan will go cross ice, and Russo is there, worked on by Murphy. Puck around the boards, and Lisa Chesson tried to swing it past Ryan, hit hard off her skate, and Scamora will take it shorthanded down the left wing. Scamora, a little bit of speed, stopping short, try to cut the puck toward the slot, but coming in was Grushaw to take that away, and lobs a bouncer, looking cross ice for Packer, too far for her. And now Casorso back to Chesson, and it's lifted down the length of the ice here as there are 48 seconds remaining in the penalty on Jackie Greco.
Yeah, not a very sharp start to this power play for the Riveters. And a shot gets a dump out, a breakout pass gets deflected back into the zone, so the Riveters having trouble getting on track.
There's Kelsey Colesarl on the near side, the rink wide pass for Jench, a little bit too far for her. Buttes will play it in behind their own net. Rebecca Vint trying to get up to it. Ketchum is there to the half boards for Kelly Nash, and ahead to the right point for Dostal. Swings it left side, give and go back to Dostal. Now it's Colesar who has a rocket looking in the slot for Nash. 10 seconds remaining in the Greco penalty. 1-0 Ribs here early in the third. And now a high lob out of the zone by the Buttes' Rebecca Vint. And that will do it for the power play. Riveters, who were at over 25% during the regular season, 0 for 2 here in this game.
Didn't have a power play goal against Connecticut either, as the puck goes into the netting. So there'll be a whistle.
No, the Riveters were able to do plenty of damage at even strength. They did not need the power play, even though the Whale had the last rated penalty kill in the league.
And they did get the shorty by Madison Packer. That was the only one that wasn't a 5-on-5 goal in that game, but they could have used a power play goals in this game. They haven't gotten one so far, 0 for 2. Buffalo has had only one opportunity.
Back in the Riveter zone, Ryan looking to clear. It was deflected and kept alive. Lewicki looking to center for Shiroka, broken up by Ryan. Now Harrison Brown comes over. Pressing in from the point was Murphy, kept it alive deep. Jenny Ryan back with it, the former Wisconsin Badger. Up the boards, looking for Brown. Sprawled out on the ice was Murphy, but Rafter comes over to take it away. Curls back to the left wing corner. Surrendered behind the net. Jordan Burns is there. And reverse back around, and Rafter waiting at the half boards will take it on her stick and shovel it deep for Harrison Brown. He's there, up to the boards, and now to the left point. Picard throws it off the wall, angled out in front, some traffic, as there's some hacking and whacking in front of Amanda Levier, and Levier able to hold on to that. With a lot of pressure in the crease by Kelly Nash.
Yeah, Kelly Nash, again, this third energy line, trying to get things stirred up. For the Riveters, they're able to get some pressure on. The puck hits off the side of the net and then bounces out in front. Kelly Nash is right on target. She jumps into the play and able to get a short-range shot. Levier also very sharp at tracking that puck and keeping it out of the net, keeping this a 1-goal lead for the Riveters.
Scamora on left wing. She's been held in check today. The pass up ahead, so have the entire Buttes, although they've had some good offensive chances. It's a 1-0 lead for Metropolitan here with a little under 3 minutes played to the third. Puck in the neutral zone, Kunichika waiting for it. Instead, Scamorra takes it away from the scrum. Comes in across the Riveters line, down the left wing side. From the corner, sent through the crease, no one home. Greco from the right point, moves it down to the half boards. Now curling high slot, Scamorra's shot, blocked down in front. Kunichika looking to center it, chipped off her stick, wrap try by Elia, what a save by Fitzgerald. Elia with a no-look wrap from down low in front. Fitzgerald a great save, and now it's Russo with speed down the left side. Her shot gets disrupted, and Lisa Chesson able to take that away from Mie Dench. And ahead, it's lifted to the neutral zone, where Kunichika from right wing will just throw that in off the stick of Katie Fitzgerald.
That was an amazing play by Elia. She had her back to the net, got the turnaround shot. Even better save, though, by Katie Fitzgerald.
Picard tracks it down along the boards, gets it ahead. Dench with a clear. 1-on-2. Ketchum tried to take that away, but had it blocked out of her control. As Corrine Bowie comes in across the Buffalo line, but offside. And we get a stoppage in play with exactly 4 minutes played in this third period. It's a 1-0 Riveters lead.
Well, after not much going on the Riveters power play, the minute 45 to start the period, they've gotten better looks at 5-on-5. So maybe as far as the Riveters are concerned, they'd be happy not to be with the player advantage again.
Puck creeps in across the line. Jess Jones was offside, so she'll touch back up as Bowie shoots it in from center ice. Now it's Dostal. Casorso unable to keep it in at the point, and they will bring that puck back in as the puck ends up in the Riveters bench and then knocked back onto the ice with 15:47 to play in regulation.
Corrine Bowie does not know what it's like to lead the ice at the end of the season without a championship. In 2015, she was able to win it in the CWHL. She won the Isobel Cup with Boston in 2016, last year with Buffalo, so now she's trying to go for 4 championships in a row.
Ray Ketchum from the neutral zone slides it into the Buffalo end. Casorso tracks it down. Up the boards, Jones is there. And rink wide, played in the neutral zone by Picard. Levier will play the dump in for the Buttes. Now Casorso back to Colleen Murphy. Had a little bit of trouble against the forechecking Dench. Casorso there for Jones. Tied up by Brown briefly, but the puck advanced, and it's Lewicki 1-on-2. Lewicki with a nice toe drag, walks out in front, try to put it back onto the forehand, and she fell. Can the Riveters capitalize? No, good keeping at the point by Burns. Second effort, the Riveters get it clear. And it's Edney moving it up the wall, but Ryan turns it back the other way for Metro. Regained, though, by Acursi. Acursi with a toe drag. Acursi trying to walk her way out in front. Went around Ryan, centering at the top of the blue line for Kaylin Shiroka, but she couldn't get the shot off on goal.
Not easy to go through Jenny Ryan, but Acursi was able to do that. Acursi got a great start this season. Finished up with 6 goals. Most of those, though, did come in the early part of the season.
And an icing is whistled on Metropolitan. Oh, now they're saying a deflection. Chad Weissman having words at one of the referees. Brandon Bendis and Matthew Dumpert are the referees today. Michael Godianu and John Stack III are the linesmen.
Of course, there are 2 referees now in the playoffs that started in the postseason last weekend in both of the semifinal games.
The previous 2 seasons had 4 officials at all games, regular season and postseason. They pared it down to 3 for the regular season this year. Puck is loose out in front and camped on by the netminder, Katie Fitzgerald. As she got to it, her teammate Erica Lawler was also there in the crease.
Fitzgerald able to find it and smother it and withstand all the skates and sticks that were around her because there was quite a scrum going on. Fitzgerald keeping her focus. That's one of her great assets, I think, is her ability to focus, keep her mind clear, whether she goes a long time between seeing shots or whether she gets a flurry.
Lawler wins the draw from Elia. Picard off the skate of Lawler trying to advance, but it's kept alive in the zone as a result. Scamorra from the corner. Now to Kunichika, got knocked off the play by Lawler with a hit. And Russo with it out in the neutral zone along the left wing will lob it in. Using that speed to try to close the gap, Elisa Chesson wraps it around quickly and gets back to it in the corner with 6 minutes played to this third period. Back pressure forced on by Packer. Now along the near wing side, the Buttes able to skate out of danger. And it's a 3-on-3, and Casorso will just lob it in. It hit off the side of Fitzgerald's helmet.
Fitzgerald's kind of shaking her head, but I think she's okay.
I'm assuming that was intentional. I don't really know.
I don't know if that.
I don't think it was. I think maybe she thought that was going to come off her chest and came in a little bit higher as it's deflected in from the blue line by Jones. But Fitzgerald unfazed after that. Casorso bomb from the neutral zone hit off her noggin there as Dent will play it out through the neutral zone into the Buttes end. Winds and holds now from the wing and slaps one wide as Bowie tied up. Metro able to keep the puck in the zone. Second effort, and on both the chances there, that was Picard keeping it in. Karine Bowie will shovel it out of danger, and now Picard has to chase it down with 7 minutes played to this third period, and still a 1-0 Metropolitan lead. Long pass ahead, broken up. Here's Chesson with Jones. Chesson from the slot, and the shot was blocked by Picard. Now back for Jones. Just Jones draped on by Picard, but play continues on. Great catch him there. Try to rim it around, centering pass in front, and no one home for Buffalo as Shiroka had it broken up. And now back the other way comes Metropolitan. Tatiana Rafter cuts in front of Jackie Greco, knocks her down, feeding Stretch Johnson, can't keep it in. Now a foot race for the puck and a 2-on-1. Here come the Buttes. Lewicki down the right wing side, walks in front, shot, stone safe, rebound put just wide by Shiroka on the follow-up, and now here come the Riveters. From the right side, Rafter will play it in from the blue line, and in deep, cut off by Harrison Brown. As he had a step on Jackie Greco, gives it back to Kelly Nash. To Lawler. Lawler, base of the left wing circle, try to turn back to the forehand, had it poked away, and feeds it back to Burke. Across to the right point for Ryan, shot through traffic, and Nash tried to get to the rebound, but that was blocked. Out to center ice come the Buttes, but a mistimed pass by Caitlin Shiroka. Thought about looking for a Kersey. A Kersey was coming off on a change, and we get an icing as a result.
Well, there was just a 2-on-1 chance by Buffalo as Lewicki, the fastest skater in the NWHL's All-Star Game competition, able to come down, get a shot on Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald makes the pad save, couldn't reach the rebound, so there was a second try, and she was able to keep that puck out as well. Unbelievable work by Katie Fitzgerald, as it was Shiroka with the rebound try.
Now Lewicki just couldn't get that shot up over the glove of Fitzgerald. There's a Kersey in the slot, swept away by Colzer. And Packer will track it down with 11:35 to go in regulation. 1-0 Metropolitan, centering pass stolen. Oh, 6 skaters on the ice, and that'll be a penalty on the Buffalo Buttes, a no-doubter, as we see the third power play coming up here for Metropolitan because of a poor change by the Buttes.
So a power play opportunity. This is the third of the game for the Riveters. They've not looked really, honestly, too good on the 2 previous tries. But a key opportunity here at the 8:30 mark of the third period. Bench penalty to Buffalo.
Well, right now, Craig Muni, Rick Sealing are the coaches talking to the officials about that one, as just a few moments ago, brick wall Fitzy, Katie Fitzgerald, before that brilliant save, took one off the base.
Well, Casorso shoots the puck in, it deflects up, and this goes off the forehead, basically, of Katie Fitzgerald, the top of her helmet. She just sort of stands there calmly as the puck goes into the corner, doesn't show any ill effects, certainly.
That was intentional. You see it on the replay. That's what she looked to do. I mean, that would not have been my first choice.
You know, Henrik Lundqvist of the Rangers, again, you always hate to draw comparisons to men's hockey, but I'm so familiar with him doing that intentionally. Haven't seen it that much in the women's game, but Katie Fitzgerald doing it at all. The header off the Casorso dump in, and the power play third of the game starting for the Riveters.
They're 0 for 2. Here's Grushow who has the game's lone goal down the right side, but the Riveters are whistled for an offside with 1:43 remaining in the bench minor for too many skaters. A Kersey is serving that. For the Riveters, they have Packer, Grushow, Russo, Ryan, and Burke on for the power play. Vince is up front with Karine Bowie, Edney on defense, along with Jordan Burns. Puck in the circle, and slapped out of danger by Edney of Buffalo as Courtney Burke will race it back down. And here come the Riveters from left to right. There's Grushow from the right wing, skates in across the line. Grushow centering pass in the slot. Shot blocked out in front. That was Russo with the opportunity. And along the near wing side, or right wing side, Buttes looked to get it out. Sent through by Edney, and Edney's shorthanded, has Vint with her. Edney from the slot just tried to shoot one. That was blocked by Burke. Now surrender deep. And they'll come off on a change with 10.5 to play in regulation. A 1-0 lead for this Metropolitan team as Burke will outlet, give and go with Dench. Burke's been out there for the entire power play. Skates in across the line, shovels it deep. Played by Burns. Burns looking to move it up ice, and it hit off her teammate. Puck just sits there in the circle, and Lisa Chesson, the former Olympian, will come away with it as she muscles her way to the right wing boards, gets it out to center ice, give and go with Maddie Ilya. Here's Chesson shorthanded. Chesson from the corner. Chesson falls on her backside behind the net. Now Haley Scamora shorthanded, try to cut back on her backhand, but Dench got a piece of that. And both teams now just playing deep inside the Metro zone. Who wants that puck?
Great penalty killing shift by Chesson, the defenseman, who comes in and really forces things offensively shorthanded. Just 15 seconds now left on the power play for the Riveters.
And the Buttes get another clear out to the neutral zone. Metropolitan's power play really held in check this afternoon by the Buttes as it's shot in on goal from center by Kolzer. Dropped off by Levier. Heard some footsteps, and it's poke checked away while she was out of the crease. Back to 5-on-5 hockey. That was Kelly Nash with the heads-up play to get that away from Amanda Levier. She came out of the crease to play that puck. Now Casorso trying to hold off two red sweaters, but the Buttes come away with control. Skating out to the neutral zone from left to right and across the line from left wing. There's Maddie Ilya, shovels it off the side of the goal, looked to get it back herself. Grushow was there, moves it along the boards to Packer, nudged up the ice, finding Russo, but Casorso was back and will get there first. And Russo just keeps her feet moving, tries to get to that puck in the corner. Grushow digs it off the boards. Now over to Dostal, and she gets a shot in on goal that Levier stops with 8:46 left to play in regulation. A 1-0 lead on the goal by Alexa Grushow. You're watching the Isobel Cup Final on Twitter.
We are the early risers.
Make sure it's nice and snug.
The DIYers. We are determined.
Go, USA on 3. 1, 2, 3, USA!
Crazy.
A minute to go.
Die hard.
Winning time for USA hockey.
We are loyal.
Up the wing they come.
We are proud.
She shoots. She scores! Maggie Duggan to the top of the mountain.
We are brewed for this. America runs on Duncan.
Let's go, Riveters!
Well, there's a Riveters fan getting his groove on here. They're dancing in the stands here at the Barnabas Health Hockey House, and Chad Weissman coaching his NWHL finale. He went right from the playing surface into the coaching ranks in the NWHL and had a very rough first season with the Metropolitan Riveters. His coaching ability has really grown considerably as this franchise has increased its stature in the league.
It has, and he's such a good teaching coach. We've seen that this season. Also a very big proponent of the women's game. Kind of sad to see him go because he always spoke highly of this league and of the athletes he got to work with. I've had the opportunity to work with him a little bit this season, and certainly wish him well in his new endeavor. But right now he's 8 minutes and 46 seconds away from a championship, and that's all that's on his mind. The future is, he'll worry about that later.
Well, the partnership between the Riveters and the New Jersey Devils very heralded. He once played for the AHL affiliate of the New Jersey Devils up in Albany, New York, one of his many stops in the American Hockey League. Bowie from the wing with a shot in on goal, and Fitzgerald with the save. And now you have Chesson going at it with Bray Ketchum, I believe, by the side of the net. The official quickly stepping in to separate those two with 8:31 to play.
Yeah, Vint and Ryan were also having words, so tension. It's running high right now. I'm sure the fans are feeling it. The players certainly are feeling it. They've got everything on the line right now. Face off a beat to the left of, to the right of Katie Fitzgerald.
All it's been centering Jones and Bowie for the Buttes. There's Chesson from the left side. Wrist shot had Bowie in front, but the deflection went wide. And from the corner, Russo trying to slap it up, but held in by Edney. Here's Edney with a slap shot through traffic, blocked down low in front. Puck by the side of the net, and Fitzgerald, cool as a cucumber today, able to hold on to that puck, just clawing it down on the ice.
If you want to win an Easter egg hunt, I think you should invite Katie Fitzgerald, because she is seeing everything through screens, through legs. She's done such a good job so far. There's another scrum in front of her here as the Riveters not able to get the puck out of the zone. There's 4 bodies between her and the shooter, and 2 more come charging in, and Katie Fitzgerald's still able to calm things down.
Well, shots unofficially, the scoreboard says 22-15 in favor of Buffalo. As here come the Buttes from the high slot. Chesson with a wrist shot. That one kind of knuckled in on Fitzgerald, and Katie there to make yet another save.
You know, when you've got the demeanor that she has too, she takes everything, whether things are going poorly for her team or well, she keeps everything very much on an even keel. And you talk to her off the ice, and that's also her temperament. She's a very quiet person, but confident in her abilities.
And the face-off is controlled by Jenny Ryan behind the net to Burke. Looking for Ketchum. Lobbed ahead for Dench. Has Grushow with her. Down the left wing side, and Casorso cuts off Nia Dench. Meanwhile, Grushow was knocked down in the slot, and play continues on.
Yeah, Ilya knocked Grushow down. No interference call there.
Jenny Ryan now moves it over. Give and go with Dench. Here's Ryan with a shot, and a good save made by Levier. Saw that one cleanly. Riveters kept the zone briefly, and now here come the Buttes. Rink wide pass Scamora, 2-on-2 for Buffalo. Scamora in across the line, and the shot was disrupted by Kolzer. And played ahead now by Michelle Picard. Knocked away by Vint. They both go down like bowling pins. Vint pops back up inside the Buffalo zone and rims it around for the waiting Haley Scamora. As Harrison Brown will pressure, they continue to tangle, and from the point, Kolzer unable to keep it in, as Courtney Burke will start back in behind her own net with 7 minutes to play in regulation. The only goal in this one is an offside whistle to Alexa Grushow at 5:33 of the first period, and they'll drop that puck right at center ice.
I asked Chad Weissman earlier in the season if he was surprised by the way that Alexa Grushow was able to produce for the Riveters this year, and he said absolutely not. All she needed from her rookie year was more confidence, and he spoke to her, made sure that, you know, you're going to be the player. You have the skills to be this kind of all-around player, and she is the most complete player, I think, in the league.
Well, Janine Weber was the top center on this Riveters team a year ago. She signed with the Boston Pride in the offseason, and Grushow stepped in brilliantly to take MVP honors. Here's Jess Jones for the Buttes. Jones around the net, worked on by Ryan. Ahead for Edney. Now for Chesson, top of the left wing circle. Chesson dropping down off his skate. Vint tried shoveling a backhand shot, but Russo got a piece, and Edney will race it back. Now to Jones. Jones to Edney with a one-timer in it. Ricochets high and off the glass behind the net. Jess Jones is there looking over to the Buttes captain, Corrine Bowie. Emily Falzer, the Olympian, was the captain for 2 years with the Buttes, and Bowie earned the honor this season out of camp. Now Kristen Lewicki had it poked away by Packer, who lost her stick. Along the boards, taken by Jess Jones. Here's Jones with a backhand shot, fought off by Fitzgerald. Puck loose in front, poked away by Fitzgerald on the centering feed intended for Schroka.
Boy, Buffalo won a lot of puck battles on this shift.
Buffalo owning the zone right now. Center point shot blocked. Jones tried to dangle through the legs. Shot was blocked by the side of the net. And pinching down is Edney as the goal gets knocked off its moorings. And I believe the face-off is going to stay inside the Metropolitan zone.
Well, this is just a strong cycle by the Buffalo Buttes. They're able to keep the puck in the zone. Jones lifting a high backhand that Fitzgerald was able to knock down but not control. And Riveters, all they can do, they're just trying to honestly chip the puck off the boards, and they can't even do that. Buffalo's been able to keep it in at the point. They've been able to win the puck battles along the wall.
They win the face-off. Colleen Murphy with a shot drifting wide. Dostal over to Dench. That stoppage allowing the Riveters to get a much-needed line change in the process, as Ketchum with it down the right wing side, has Grushow out in front, and heard some footsteps there as Scamora defended. Now Ketchum again from the corner. Try to send it rink wide, bounce off the wall. Knife down by Dench. Pressure coming from behind by Haley Scamora. And Scamora rink wide as the Buttes top line on. Maddie Elia from the half boards, and the shot was blocked. Kunichika knocked down in the corner by Dostal. And the puck will slow to the corner, and it's lifted out as Dench able to get in the way of Colleen Murphy, who couldn't keep the zone. Now we're starting to see quick line changes here from Metropolitan with that 1-0 lead, under 5 minutes to go in regulation, clinging to that 1-goal advantage. Corrine Bowie along the right wing side. Bowie looks to get it out. Tied up at the line. Now gets a little bit of help Maddie Elia, rink wide to Chesson, broken up by Kelly Nash. Here's Kelly Nash from the half boards, waiting, shooting off the leg of Edney. In behind the net, Jackie Greco falls down, pops back up. Chesson helping out. Nash takes it back, showing a lot of jump in her step here in this third period. On the backhand, back to the point, Colzer with a rocket, and it was blocked by Bowie, hopping on one leg. She's got to stay out there, though, to keep it 5 aside with 4:08 to go. Jess Jones in the corner. Harrison Brown tied her up briefly. Buttes looking to clear, poke down deep, and it's back to Jones again. Lobbed high in the air to get it out. Knocked down by Picard. Schroka comes over from the right side, and now it's Schroka 1-on-5 while the Buttes change. Gets a good hard shot that drifts just wide, and Dossel will chip it ahead to Packer, who goes around Casorso. Kersey cuts her off. Buttes in the neutral zone. Schroka nudged ahead for Lewicki. Here's Lewicki down the right side with a wrist shot save, and cutting toward the net was Casorso. Couldn't get the shot in on goal, and the puck is iced by Metropolitan. Going back for it, Murphy with 3:28 to play.
Man, this game is just everything you want to see in a championship game. Great opportunities by both teams sacrificing themselves, blocking shots. You're seeing players limp off the ice, and right now off the ice, saying 3:28 left in regulation, face off to the left of Katie Fitzgerald, and you just have to hold your breath.
Elia wins it back to Murphy. Now Casorso, who had the overtime winner last week, throws it deep to Scamora. Chica there, centered in front. Madison Packer moves it to the left for Grushow. From the center line, we'll dump it in. Casorso tracks it down. Casorso took a late boarding penalty in the first period. Served a 10-minute misconduct on top of that. Finally made a return a little over halfway through the second. That nearly changed the flavor of this whole game because she hit Madison Packer, who we thought at the moment wasn't going to return, but she was back for the start of the second period, taking a regular shift. As we're under 2:50 to play in the third, and still a 1-0 Metropolitan Riveters lead. Here come the Buttes from right to left. Long pass ahead. Stolen at center ice by Burke. And now a takeaway back the other way with it is Colleen Murphy. Buttes are changing. Murphy deep, rest of the boards by the much bigger Burke. Try to kick it up the wall. Rebecca Vint takes it away. Here's Vint cutting out in front. Loose puck, high slot. There's a try. Big save made from straight on. That was Shiroka with an opportunity.
Shiroka getting that through a screen, saved by Fitzgerald.
Katie Fitzgerald has been the MVP in this game. Has her team up by a goal with 2:10 to go. Puck along the side of the net, poked in deep. Lawler steps in front of Shiroka to nudge that to the corner for Rebecca Russo. Rim back deep, but taken by Jones. Pressed by Picard. Coming in is Shiroka. Wrap try and a save made by Fitzgerald. Erica Lawler got to it in the slot. Retreats in deep, got tripped up by Vinton, no call, with 1:45 to go in the third.
Riveters get it out. That allows a change, and this will be short of icing. We'll have to keep an eye on Amanda Levier. You see when she gets pulled for the extra skater.
Oh, coming in across the line was Sarah Edney. Still deep in the crease, though, is Levier. Here's Kunichika with a chance. Block got it back in front. Side of the net, and a poke check there, I believe, by Fitzgerald. Here come the Buttes, led by Packer. Lifted in from the right side, and she'll give chase on it against Edney. Minute 15 to go in the third. Metropolitan would like to just keep it in the zone. Unable to do that at the center line. Scamora got turned around, but Kunichika comes to take it away. And the right wing pass as it's stumped in from the center line. Levier waiting for the call to come to the bench for the extra skater. Here's Casorso here. For the bench is Levier. Wrap try out in front. Block shot. Big save by Fitzgerald as that one stayed on the ice. Off the stick of Maddie Elia. And Fitzgerald with her biggest save of the game to keep it 1-0 Riveters.
Casorso was in front of the net, basically in the paint, and the skate puck came through, hit her in the skate. Opportunity for the Buttes. Now with Levier having gone to the bench, 51.1 seconds remaining. Puck comes down. Fitzgerald deep in her butterfly and able to keep the puck out of the net with the bodies crashing around her.
We'll see if Craig Muni and Rick Sealing use their timeout. They do with 51.1 seconds. No, they don't. I thought they would call the timeout, and now they call the timeout with the empty net in the Buffalo Butte zone, and they'll try to set something up, Sherry, here with under a minute to go. You know, this one, you get the goosebumps, you got the heart beating, and we're just up here calling the game. You can only imagine how the players on both sides feel.
Not only that, but they're exhausted. I mean, we're well rested, you know. We've just been up here talking about the game. They've been giving everything they got on every shift, and you're seeing the Riveters a lot under pressure in these last few minutes. They did have one decent scoring opportunity. That was a pass that came across, I think, from Ketchum to Gruschow, and it was just a little bit too high to handle in front. But other than that, it's been all Buttes. They've been winning a lot of puck battles in the offensive zone. They've been trying to wear down the Riveters. So this timeout beneficial to the Riveters as well, as able to catch their breath and get the players out there that they want for this key face-off.
So the net is empty as we come out of the timeout by the Buffalo Buttes. The Riveters will have Packer, Dench, Gruschow, Picard, and Dostal, while the Buttes come on with Bint, Ilya Scamora, Corrine Bowie, Jess Jones, and Sarah Casorso. So all those big forwards and Casorso on for Buffalo. Face off to the left of Fitzgerald, and a big one. Bit of a stalemate. Buttes have it. Here's Jess Jones looking out in front, poked away from the slot. It's Packer tracking it down, looking to get the puck out of the zone, and she does. Casorso quickly back to the right side. 35 seconds to go. Along the far boards, and it's Gruschow getting a clear. The Riveters holding things up right now in the neutral zone. Backhanded in by the Buttes, and it's Picard that time taking it away. Finding Gruschow, sees the open net, and the shot gets blocked with 20 seconds. Can the Riveters hold on? 15 seconds to go. 1-0 Metropolitan, looking to keep it that way for their first title. 8 seconds to go. Picard with it back in her own zone. Puck is shot down the length of the ice. Gloved by Casorso. The Buttes will run out of time, and the brick wall is untouched here in Newark. Katie Fitzgerald with a brilliant shutout. 1-0, and the Riveters win the Isobel Cup. What an amazing game by the Metropolitan Riveters. They get a first period goal, 5 minutes and 33 seconds in by Alexa Gruschow. Turns out that's all they needed tonight, because Katie Fitzgerald had the game of her life.
Absolutely. She is the MVP of this game. How about this? 120 shutout minutes in the postseason for Katie Fitzgerald. 13 saves last week and a shutout over the Whale, and an even bigger one here in the final, where she was really tested period by period, time and again. Made that one goal, that spectacular goal by Alexa Gruschow, stand up, and this is a well-deserved Isobel Cup for this Metropolitan Riveters team.
Yeah, not to take anything away from the Connecticut Whale and the shutout last week. Katie Fitzgerald wasn't the key last week. She was the key tonight, as Buffalo threw everything and the kitchen sink at her, especially in that third period.
All those big bodies on the Buffalo team crashing the front of the net, and in the closing seconds, Riveters did have control of the puck, and Katie Fitzgerald able to finally go, I don't need these gloves right now. She used that glove, that stick, she used that helmet to win this game.
She stopped 2 third period shots with her helmet, the one from the neutral zone by Sarah Casorso, and then another one a few minutes later when the Buttes were really buzzing inside that Metropolitan zone. And, you know, unofficially the final shot's 28-16. That number likely will change. 15 third period saves if that's the case for Fitzgerald. And, you know, last season she had a rough one. Only stopped 8 of 12 shots in that loss to Buffalo. Talk about turning it around and getting some payback against the team that ended your season a year ago.
And this was also the team that ended the 11-game winning streak for the Metropolitan Riveters. They lost 3 times to Buffalo down the stretch. They had every reason to come into this game and not be confident going against the defending champs. And they just went out there and acted like this is our game to win. They did not back off. They did not wait to see what Buffalo was going to throw at them. You really have to love what the Riveters did in this game. Total team effort, but within the team, Katie Fitzgerald was the reason the Riveters are champions.
Katie Fitzgerald going through the handshake line, and now the Buttes walking off the ice as they did during the inaugural Isobel Cup final. They lost here to the Boston Pride in 2 games. They leave Newark, New Jersey on the losing side once again, and the Metropolitan Riveters take the championship on their home ice, celebrating right now inside their own zone. Talk about happy faces and smiles across that entire roster in Chad Weissman's final game as the Metropolitan Riveters head coach. He leaves with a championship. An amazing 60 minutes of play from this Metropolitan team. You thought somehow Buffalo was going to tie this one down the stretch, but Brickwall Fitzy, her name well earned today.
It certainly was, because she was terrific. And not only that, but she's got that demeanor in the goal that I think gives confidence to her teammates. And I think she was really essential to that today, because there were times where they were under siege by the Buttes, and Fitzgerald able to not just keep the puck out of the net, but looked like she had everything under control.
Well, let's send it downstairs to the Isobel Cup. It's there at center ice.
The Buffalo Buttes and the Metropolitan Riveters. I'm here to present this year's 2018 Isobel Cup Most Valuable Player to Katie Fitzgerald.
And now, with the 3rd season of the NWHL in the books, we want to take this moment to thank you, fans, and everyone who had a part in this moment today and this monumental year for women's hockey. And now, without further ado, I'd love to bring up Captain Ashley Johnston to present. You've earned this cup. The Isobel Cup.
I've made a few.
Harrison Brown. Oh, I had no idea about that. Something just said, like, just now. Well, the Riveters celebrating after Danny Ryland handed the cup over to Ashley Stretch Johnston, the captain of this team since day one. Wrapping it up with an Isobel Cup. There's Bray Ketchum, also one of the founding 4 Riveters that are still on the roster from the inaugural season. And she will hand that cup off right now to Madison Packer, also there since day one, and Michelle Picard as well. Fitting that they are the first ones to hold up the cup.
The core 4, they've been here since the inaugural season of the Riveters. And how about Madison Packer coming back after what looked like a possible concussion in the first period, and not backing down, playing that same physical style throughout the rest of the game.
And I know offensively she didn't factor into the final score, but she made a play in that final minute where she was able to poke check that along the boards and get it out. And in a period where Buffalo pretty much owned the entire, that was their ice. They couldn't get anything past Katie Fitzgerald, but they really owned the zone. That was a big poke check, and there's Katie Fitzgerald, the MVP of this game.
Making sure everybody gets a chance to hoist the cup as she is able to hand it off.
Rebecca Russo
celebrating with taking it over near where the fans are so they can get a good look at it.
Russo, a Westport, Connecticut native, a former Boston University standout, and now she'll hand it out to Courtney Burke, who played at the University of Wisconsin. They're roommates. They do. They share a place not too far from here. And now it goes to Jenny Ryan, who is also roommates with Rebecca Russo.
And Burke's partner.
And Courtney Barr. And
all season long.
Her defender partner. And here it goes to Harrison Brown, who wins his second straight Isobel Cup.
Yeah, it might be the last season of professional hockey for Harrison Brown. Don't know yet. Almost retired at the end of last year. Decided to come back. Kelly Nash now skating with it.
I have stopped talking about retirement, Sherry, I'll be honest. Madison Packer was supposed to retire. Harrison Brown was supposed to retire. They both won a title today.
Who wants to leave this game?
No,
why would you want to leave? If you love the game, the league's getting better and better each year. Kelsey Colzer, another one, and we mentioned how many great rookies there were in the league this season. Kelsey Colzer, one of them, handing it off to backup goalie Kimberly Sass. She picked up one of the wins this season in overtime.
And that was the first time the Riveters were taken to overtime in Stamford, Connecticut. She gave up a couple of early goals on turnovers, not her fault. She actually played a magnificent game in net. Kimberly Sass was part of that first season team up in Buffalo, and then didn't play last year, returned to the Jersey area to play with the Riveters. And yeah, she was a key part of picking up a victory for the team.
And giving Fitzgerald a little bit of a break, because Fitzgerald did start all other 15 games. But the postseason is where Katie Fitzgerald really was a beacon. You got 13 saves against Connecticut in a shutout. Was that a big deal? Well, she did have some tough tests in that one. They just didn't come in succession the way they did today, where she was under siege through a lot of periods of this game. And Fitzgerald, again, somebody who was playing in a men's rec league 2 summers ago to reach the pinnacle of her sport 2 years later. Just a terrific story.
Yeah, certainly a storybook. And I don't want to say an ending, because very
young,
know
if it's ending.
and I'm sure we will see more from Katie Fitzgerald, but a great chapter close for Katie Fitzgerald in her young professional career. And now the rest of the Riveters players who did not dress for today having a chance to all hoist the cup, because everyone on this roster played a role at one point or another in what was a fantastic season. The Riveters were 11-0 to start the year, and they struggled down the stretch against this Buffalo team. This was the one team that really gave them fits during the course of this season. They had their way with Connecticut. They pretty much had their way with the Boston Pride, and they had their way sort of in this game. Buffalo really owned everything except putting the puck in the back of the net.
They did. I thought they, if you want to say outplayed in terms of territory, of course you don't keep that the way they do stats in, say, football, where you know how much zone time you have. But in terms of zone time, Buffalo did probably control 2/3 of this game. But Katie Fitzgerald made sure they didn't control made sure they didn't control the pucks going into the net, because she was sensational. Officially, the shots on goal, Buffalo 21, the Riveters 18. It looked like a lot more than 21 shots on goal. That must have been the way it felt to Katie Fitzgerald, but didn't make any difference to her. Whatever came her way, she kept out, whether it was with her stick, her glove, her pads, or her helmet.
I think Katie was going to stop everything tonight. I mean, that's really how she played. And 21 shots might be the number. The Buttes had many more shot chances in the third period. They had a lot that kind of drifted wide a little bit, but they were really buzzing around Katie Fitzgerald in the third period, even for parts of the second period as well. It was a very good effort on their part. They just couldn't find the back of the net. And we go back to the first period of this game, when there was a chance early on. Jess Jones had a centering pass for Rebecca Vint that was basically served up on a silver platter. She couldn't finish. It was another opportunity later in the period on a centering pass that actually on the lone power play from Buffalo, where there was a shot chance that kind of went in front of the goal line and then kind of traipsed through the crease and just wide. I mean, there were 2 great chances for Buffalo in the first period. They would never get another one during the rest of the game.
No, and you know, I guess you could argue maybe there could have been another penalty or 2 called on the Riveters, but there were also the incident of the Packer getting boarded, and that was just a 2-minute penalty against Buffalo. Probably could have easily been a 5-minute, but whatever the hurdles were that were placed in front of the Riveters in this game, they just kept going. They just absorbed some of the pressure that Buffalo put on at different points of the game, and there were surges back and forth between the two teams. And let's not forget, Mandy Levier kept this a 1-0 game. It could have easily gone early on a little bit more the Riveters' favor. The third period was definitely in Buffalo's favor as Fitzgerald was able to keep things calm. She also had a very active stick. I really like the way that Fitzgerald was using her stick around the net, breaking up a lot of plays.
Yeah, she was definitely active. The Buttes tried definitely working the puck in from the corner, trying to, get like a jam play out in front, and they just weren't able to kind of complete it. They had opportunities. If they were able to finish, there were 2 or 3 chances they would have scored on, but that's such a difficult play to make from a sharp angle in the corner, have it set up perfectly out in front. They were never able to do that. And right now we're going to send it downstairs as one of our other broadcast team members, Matt Falkenberry, is with Harrison Brown, 2-time cup-winning Harrison Brown.
I'm here ice-side with Harrison Brown, 2-time Isobel Cup champion. You retired in the summer. You came back because you wanted to bring awareness to the LGBTQ community, and you've won another Isobel Cup. Just talk about the process from when you retired to coming back to being right here, being the second player to win 2 Isobel Cup championships.
Yeah, I can't believe it. It's amazing. It's an unreal feeling. I saw my name on that trophy. To see a chosen name on that trophy, it was absolutely amazing, and I couldn't have done it without my teammates. They were amazing, and I just feel on top of the world right now.
1-0 game for almost 50 minutes of this game. Pressure packed. What was it feeling like on the bench in the locker room as this game was going on and as the score stayed the same for so long?
Yeah, as tight of a game it was. We were very even keel. We knew what we had to do. We knew we had all the right pieces, and we just had to play our game, and we knew we were going to come out on top, and that's exactly what we did.
This was a game 7 in a way. 3 wins for them, 3 wins for you guys. You get that 4th win, you get that championship. What was it feeling like when the buzzer sounded and you guys were Isobel Cup champs again?
Yeah, it was unbelievable. They won the last 3 games that we played, so we definitely played with a chip on our shoulder. We knew what we had to do to win. They're a great team, and you can't ask for a better game than that. It was amazing.
You started the season with the first goal of the year. You come back and you win a championship. Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks so much.
Let's send it back up to the booth.
Thank you, Matt. Thank you, Harrison Brown. He just won his second Isobel Cup championship in 2 seasons. He's made 3 appearances in the finals. He's definitely a bit of a lucky charm for whatever roster he's on.
Absolutely, and if he does decide to come back, I think any one of the 4 teams would be certainly happy to have him, because why not have that good luck charm in your back pocket. Brown started the season with a shorthanded goal in the main rink here as the Riveters were able to open the season against Boston on the Prudential ice surface, and Brown scored a big shorthanded goal in that one and went on to be one of the big energy players throughout the season for the Riveters.
And not only just being a pro hockey player and dealing with all of the pressures that come along with that. Of course, he's going through a journey and a transition. He's such an advocate for the LGBTQ community. To have to work with all of that as well and then still be a top player out on the ice, it's just amazing to see. Also amazing, of course, we've talked enough about Katie Fitzgerald, and she's downstairs.
I'm here with Katie Fitzgerald, the playoff MVP, back-to-back shutouts, your first Isobel Cup championship.
Okay.
What was it feeling like when you saw all your teammates charging after you and dog tackle you in the crease?
At first I was really excited, but then I hit a point where me and Kira Dossel were on the bottom of that pile, and we realized our mistake in the timing of that. But we haven't done that in so long, a lot of us, so we're so excited to be able to do this as a group. It's so special.
Back-to-back shutouts in the postseason, the first time an NWHL goalie has ever done that, ever. Just talk about what the pressure, what was the pressure like 1-0 for 50 minutes of this game?
I think last year I felt a lot of the pressure, and I put a bit too much pressure on myself, so this year I tried to enjoy it. Playoffs is the best time of the year for a reason. It's so much fun. It's hard fought, high pressure, low scoring games that are really tight, and those are the most fun to be and the most competitive. So I really just let myself enjoy the moment and take it 1 period at a time.
There was a play in the first period where Rebecca Vint had it on the goal line, nearly was able to tie the game up. What did you see on that play?
I saw Jenny Ryan make an incredible play, and thankfully she didn't get enough on it, so I got to cover it in the crease. So once again, my defensemen doing what they do best.
Goalie of the Year, 2-time All-Star, MVP finalist, Isobel Cup champion, Isobel Cup MVP. You've been racking up awards left and right. Just talk about the feeling right now as you sit here thinking about this season and this game and just what it all means to you.
It's been incredible. It's always an honor to be recognized like that. But I think, especially this year, what we wanted the team championship. That was the most important to us, to be able to win it as a group, and such a special group that we have. We've become a family, so I think the individual accolades are awesome, and I'm very proud, about what I've won, but I'm more proud of the championship that we just won.
Talk about the 4 original Riveters, Madison Packer, Bray Ketchum, Kira Dossel, and Ashley Johnson. They've been here since day one. Does this championship mean a little bit more for them to have won the championship the first time being with the team for 3 full years?
Oh, definitely, especially considering, you know, the kind of things they've gone through over the past 3 years, the uphill climb they've been on. They deserve it more than anyone I know. And Chad and Ashley as well have been here since the beginning, so all 6 of them definitely deserve this.
Katie, congratulations, MVP. What a performance.
Thank you so much.
Throw it back up to you guys.
Thanks, Matt. Thanks, Katie. Katie Fitzgerald. And if not for her play, Sherry, we are probably waiting overtime right now.
Either overtime or maybe a Buffalo victory in regulation. I mean, that's how good the Buttes were. That's how much pressure they were putting on her, especially in the second and third periods. And Katie Fitzgerald just looked like it was a practice. I mean, that was just how relaxed she was, and yet she was so alert and active and focused and just looking like, hey guys, I've got this, and that gives so much confidence to the players in front of her. I'm sure every player will say after the game that Fitzgerald really made them believe they were going to win this one.
Well, last season's Isobel Cup final was a classic between Buffalo and the Boston Pride. This one just as amazing to watch, thanks to the play of Katie Fitzgerald, and just an amazing effort from both teams.
And how about the goal by Alexa Grusha? Let's not forget that. That came back at the 5:33 mark of the first period, ended up being the only goal scored in the game, and it was a levitating goal. I mean, not many players in the league could have scored that one, but Grusha, who was the MVP, was able to get it early, and the Riveters, especially Katie Fitzgerald, made it stand up, and the Riveters go on to win their first Isobel Cup.
Well, they become the first team other than Buffalo or Boston to take the Isobel Cup. Just an amazing way to wrap up the 2017-2018 campaign here at the Barnabas Health Hockey House with a 1-0 Metropolitan Riveters victory. And that'll do it here on the broadcast from Press Row. For Matt Falkenberry and Erica Ayala and my broadcast partner Sherry Ross, I'm Phil Jubileo, wishing you good night from Newark, New Jersey, where the Metropolitan Riveters have won the Isobel Cup. Have a great night, everybody.